What do we?
Oh, radio, tell me everything you know.
Bored Wrestling Fan Radio, episode number 128. And what a show we've got for you today. Of course, today we're going to be talking about that great event happening tonight and in Chicago.
Fuck the George.
We're talking about the great event tonight in Chicago, and of course I'm talking about
a hockey game, isn't there?
Yes, Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals between the Blackhawks and the Kings.
Punk's
That's
return.
where CM Punk will be.
What do you mean the great event happened on Thursday? There's nothing going on tonight.
Phil Brooks woke up this morning. A CM Punk return is imminent.
I guarantee
he'll
you.
be returning to the Blackhawk game. So
I was gonna say, I guarantee you that Phil Brooks,
all the Marks out there, all the JTs and the Mark Noises of the world. If you want to see CM Punk, you're going to be watching NBC, bitches.
I guarantee you, yeah, that's what I was going to say, is I guarantee you CM Punk will be in an arena in Chicago tonight. Just probably not the Allstate Arena.
No, not probably. Definitely.
Most likely.
He retired this week.
I know he retired this week.
To him, man.
So, go cry yourselves to sleep, Punk Marks.
Yes,
He'll pull a bow and parachute in the middle of the fight.
He did say he is.
Fill.
He got your fill of Phil.
I hope you got filled up.
You get, yeah, okay.
And then you can go hang out at the cabana by the pool.
As Colt Cabana is staring at me from the wall right next to my computer.
Colt Cabana lives in your wall?
Yes, he does.
Awesome. And
So Monday night I was off both jobs. Had perfect nothing on the DVR to watch. So what did I watch?
paint dry.
Walking Dead rerun.
Close. I watched instead of Monday Night Raw, which I could have watched for the first time in over a year. I watched Family Guy reruns.
It was probably better.
Yeah, they were.
I'm sure they were.
Unless they involve that fucking chicken.
What's wrong with the chicken?
It's like lazy ass. They can't think of a 20-minute story, so they're throwing a 5-minute chicken fight.
Okay, fair enough.
Pisses me off.
That chicken fight was pretty excessive. I will give Mark credit there. That chicken fight episode, some of those segments do get kind of a little obsessive when they run a little too long. It's one thing to do a little short thing to do comedy, but when you go into Conway Twitty for 4.5 minutes.
Okay, yeah, that's a little the one episode where they did the entire Conway Twitty song. Okay, yeah, that was a little overkill. I tell you what, though, I mean,
I do like Family Guy, but it does annoy me when they have 5 million cutaways because it's obvious they had no ideas what to do with the story.
And
Salmonella.
So go see Seth MacFarlane's new 2-hour movie that just came out.
It's a Meg episode. It's a Meg episode. Here's the clicker. No one will judge you.
Today on the show, we got we're scheduled to have Gary Barnidge from the Cleveland Browns talk WWE Payback tonight.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yes. You guys can't hear it, but there it is. For some reason,
I wonder what Barnidge thinks, the Kings or the Hawks.
We'll find out. We'll ask him. Gary's been on a lot of he's been all over the world since the last time we talked to him, which I think was either Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber was the last time we talked to him. He's been a busy guy. And of course, he went on vacation. He was overseas for a little while, and then he went and did the American Football Without Barriers, which is a great charity that him and D'Angelo Williams of the Panthers do. Also later on today, coming on apparently to offer a rebuttal of Michael McCurdy, whatever the hell his name was. I'm doing a website for him. I can't remember his name. Michael McCurdy last week. Sorry, bud. Michael McCurdy. David Fuller probably offering a rebuttal of Michael McCurdy and I talking about working for him last week. But he'll be on to talk about IHWExperience on June 8th, which is a week from today in Fort Worth, Texas at the Sendera Center. So that's going to be cool. We'll have those guys on. So what else is new? talking to myself.
Yes, because nothing is new. It's rematch tonight.
Well, dude,
The pay-per-view brought to you. Oh, special event in the United States.
It is in the name.
You got to understand. Yeah, I might have had Monday. I might have had a 3-day weekend last, so I had 3 days off consecutively in a row. But basically, since Monday, I've been work. I even worked yesterday, putting in a deck at my house on the lake. So
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as JT. Gotta work. Gotta make the bills.
Payback is trending on Twitter right now. It's like 4th.
That's kind of sad, but you know, I watched all of these shows this week, and I honestly don't think that wrestling is in a good place right now on the mainstream. I'm really hoping that AAA and Global Force Wrestling makes a big splash in 2014 or early into 2015, because this is getting fucking ridiculous. It's starting to become literally recycled bullshit. Without joking, it really is. It's bad. This is like we're in a dark era, dudes.
Yeah. And it's pretty.
I will give the.
George is using a house mic this week.
Yeah, I was in a hurry. I got stuck at the grocery store, and
He fought a giant chicken.
I did.
He did, and then he cut him up, and he's going to grill him up after the show.
That son of a bitch got fucked up. Nah, I'm just.
George threatened to shove a porterhouse up my sphincter earlier today.
Yes.
So what else is new?
Well, guys, he's trying
I
to
thought
go.
he promised you things like that.
Well, usually I would, but that would be in a kinky way. But this time I mean it in a you're gonna get it whether you like it or not way.
Ginger wants to join in on the show. Ginger.
Oh shit! I was just getting I was getting over a bad experience I had last night at a bar with a female.
So what else is new?
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's the theme of the episode.
yeah, I mean, she was. I was
Buy
out
the
there.
replay.
I was out there, and she was giving me the eye. You know, I have pepper spray. I am not interested, and she was playing hard to get into the trunk of my car. And,
I was gonna say, what's her name, Joni?
But I eventually got her there. And I'm having this trouble because I'm dealing with a real bad girlfriend experience. You know, we both have commitment issues. She wants to commit adultery. I want to commit homicide. But I really shouldn't say that because she can really count all the guys she's been with on one hand if she was holding a friggin' calculator. But I'm just saying, I'm just venting right now, guys. I'm sorry.
That's okay, Sam Shaw.
It could happen at any time.
We're just talking about how much wrestling we didn't watch this week.
Oh shit! Well,
I watched Raw and I fast forwarded through SmackDown and I kind of got through NXT Takeover, which was good.
That was the only good thing on this week. What are you talking about?
I didn't get to watch it. I read some of the spoilers, which was cool. So
I totally stole it.
that's all right.
See, my kid had a thing on Thursday I had to go to, so I didn't get to watch it live, and I was trying to watch it at work, and by this point, I've been up for like hours, which is a record for me.
Yeah, you're
Like 2 hours.
yeah, that usually works. You weren't behind the wheel of a car, so
No,
of
not
course it was a whole different story for you.
I'm Maven fan, by the way.
We're having issues with this call.
Oh, motherfucker.
Mark is having issues with this call anyway.
Oh, man, Mark, I'm sorry.
And hopefully that's not a huge Skype issue because we're supposed to be calling Gary Barnidge in 5 minutes.
Fuck.
Issues.
And Maven fan says John Cena is not on NXT.
Jesus.
Hasn't he sometimes? Didn't he go on with the early days? He was on to help promote the show. Did he do a 20-minute promo out of the hour-long program?
I'm sure he made an appearance at some point. Actually, he probably did.
I wish John Cena
fairly certain he did.
I wish Cena were under the wheels of a bus. That's where I wish he was.
You wish he was tied to that pole a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, that would have been great.
But you actually got to see the damage to my car.
Yeah. Wow.
Right, it was on Facebook.
It was on Facebook, but George got to see it up close and personal.
I got to be within the presence of this mangled wreck of a car. And
What does personal mean? George, did you fuck the car?
There were quite a few openings for it. It could have.
Skippy hippie.
I'm not saying it happened, but then again, I'm not saying it didn't happen.
I saw that on Facebook too.
Yeah. He saw the
on Brazzers and on Ucorn.
He saw the mangled. He saw the mangled remains of the Goodyear condom that I used.
You're gonna love the animated GIF for the episode this week, guys.
Oh fuck! Oh,
I usually don't look at them until after the show, but let's
got to
take a look.
See this.
George fucks a car.
Oh, no.
Fuck talk. Every Sunday.
What the?
I better look at
What the fuck?
Buy the shirt.
Holy shit!
Oh, gift.
This
Okay,
is
yeah,
great.
there we go.
Any truth to the rumor that Zack Ryder is the bunny?
I think it is true.
I've not heard anyone say it, but given how JBL rips on him, I would not be surprised.
Neither
It's
would I.
obvious he's someone.
I'd be more surprised if he wasn't the bunny.
And I've heard
And
just
also,
a week
is the
ago or
Roman-
something? Isn't it that he and Zack Ryder trade, and they occasionally play the bunny each?
Yeah,
know.
and is it just me, or does the Roman gladiator dude look like Eugene? It could be.
No, he doesn't work for the company anymore.
He doesn't?
No.
According
I
to
thought
Wikipedia, he does.
Is a trainer.
Yeah, I thought he was a trainer.
In the OVW days.
Oh, the exotic.
I don't know if you go on Wikipedia. That's what it tells me. Is he's working there as a trainer.
Did they bring him back to the wellness center?
Yeah, to give him a
They
fucking
fixed his
haircut.
problems.
Holy shit!
Dick Dinsmore, better known by his WWE ring name Eugene, is an American professional wrestler currently working for WWE as a trainer. So there's your answer, Fishbulb.
I don't know what he's gonna train, but
Somebody got that reference.
Oh, Maven fans saying that Joe Cena is the bunny.
So he came back in 2013. Yeah, he trains them at the wellness center.
I'm currently the hamburger.
I'm the syringe filled with steroids.
And I'm his dealer.
And Maven fan can be the lollipop.
I don't know if the lollipop's supposed to be a metaphor for drugs or cock. Because he's a very effeminate man.
Maybe it could be drug cock.
And I got left out. I wish I was a part of something.
You could.
You're the lemon because you don't watch.
Oh, that's good. That's real good.
Yeah, it's always easy to make jokes about JT because he doesn't watch.
Well, I watch. See, I actually watch the ones that entertain me. I watch the ones from 1994.
I just finished watching the
Really,
90s.
I stopped watching because of that shit. But
They-
you know,
yeah, well,
you're
actually-
still watching Ring of Honor though.
No, I don't have time for it. I
They
don't have
literally
time.
They bought a
lost their
second light,
Syracuse
dude.
market.
They bought us.
I heard they bought a second light, but then they lost a time slot because of it.
Yeah, they
Well-
literally lost the Syracuse market. You
No, they
can't-
actually they can't. I found what they moved it. They changed it. They put it on another network, and it's at like 11:30 at night on like Sundays. And it's like I'm just numb.
Yeah,
you know what?
they used to show it Saturdays and Sundays here, and now they only show it Sundays, like right when I get to work, so I could watch it if I wanted to, but it's like, I'm not fucking watching wrestling. Fuck that shit. It's bad enough I can watch Raw tomorrow.
Hey, we're watching Payback tonight. That's good enough.
Yes, we are.
That's good enough.
And the Blackhawks game.
Like I say, it's like I'm not. I gave it up. I'm like I'm done. I just don't have time for it. You know, I'm tired. I'm not saying they're awful, but their commentary is almost Michael Cole like, with patting themselves on the back on how great
Ouch.
they are when they're not that much. They're not that much different from WWE.
You
Are
know,
we talking about ROH or TNA?
can we say both?
Either one of them.
Oh, I do have a VCR recorder, Maven fan too. Don't say I should buy one. I got one right here. Actually, I'll get it right here. I got it in my
Betamax.
Hey, there's
Beta.
nothing wrong with VCRs.
He's going to get the VCR.
Yes.
Like, we can actually see it.
He's going to take
This
a
is
picture of it.
awesome radio.
This is great.
Go fetch.
Fetch.
It is. Here it is, right here.
Yes,
your
we can
VCR.
totally. Oh, I can hear. I hear
Yeah.
the flap.
Yeah, that's a Samsung, right?
It's an
Mr.
Emerson.
Sam Shaw.
Shit, that was
Sam
so-
Shaw.
That's a. You fuck.
Oh
It's
boy.
it's so disheartening that the WWE can like create such an awesome product with NXT, and nobody watches it. Like
Oh,
fucking
man.
Legends House, that piece of shit show is higher rated. What the fuck?
You know what though? Last week NXT was number 4.
Let's cook some dinner with old retired fucking drug users.
NXT was number 4 last week. Oh, dude, Legends House this week. I finally got around to watching it. And, like,
Who died?
nobody died. Piper had to leave.
Ah, ruins. Terrible.
Piper had to leave to go to like a convention in Atlanta, and his roommate on the show is Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and Hacksaw's like, "Did Piper call yet? Piper call yet? Piper call yet? Why do I miss Piper so much?"
That's
like, dude.
That's
They just had to throw in a gay love story.
I guess
it had to happen.
All right, let's get our boy Gary Barnidge.
That's what happens when Hacksaw makes you his ho.
You gotta love it. You gotta love the format. This is, you say that the roommate leaves the house episode. It's like, what reality show doesn't have that?
That's when the 3-row masturbation begins.
All right, let's try and get Gary Barnidge on the call here. Hopefully, I didn't confirm with him, but he did tell me earlier in the week he was going to be on. So it's ringing.
Be very quiet. It's ringing.
Very quiet. Let's just hope we get him.
Hello.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. It's guys from Bored Wrestling Fan. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Can't complain.
It's been a while since we talked to you. I think maybe like Elimination Chamber or Royal Rumble or something like that, right?
Been a while.
You've been pretty much all over the world, yeah?
Yeah, I did a little traveling all season. Started back work, so I can't complain though.
That's good. Get back to the old grind and get ready for
November 30th.
Yeah.
The Browns when the Browns play the Bills in Buffalo.
Oh.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna try and get that.
Yeah.
we're gonna try and be there.
I'm planning on making the trip from Syracuse to go to see that game.
Nice, nice. That's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a great game, and it looks to be a pretty promising season for the Browns, anyways. So.
Don't disappoint George this season though. Make sure you teabag somebody from the Bills.
Yes. I mean, they've gotten rid of most of the assholes on the team. Stevie Johnson, Ralph Wilson. But ouch. But even if you find like a trainer on the sideline or something, score a touchdown and just go over there and give him the old Lipton. I can't. I'd be happy. I mean, I've already been in the process of ordering a Barnidge jersey. I'm not even kidding you guys. I'm seriously ordering one. It's just I want to be able to wear it every Sunday for the rest of my life. So, teabag somebody and make me proud, sir. I know I put you in an awkward position there. That's my fault.
Yet he keeps coming back.
All right.
That's because we provide him with reasonable entertainment when he's not doing his wonderful humanitarian work or football or anything like that, or going to WrestleMania and making people wear really weird outfits.
or taking people.
Yeah, that's
taking
pretty good,
people to
though.
movies.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we got to see the pictures. We were on the air on WrestleMania Sunday and just looking at the pictures.
It was totally cool. Oh man! All right,
so you're the first person we've had on since WrestleMania that was actually in the building for the show. Tell me, what was the atmosphere like when Brock Lesnar conquered the streak?
It went quiet. Like nobody knew what to expect. Everybody thought everybody was like, okay, there's no way. The referee messed up. Something happened. It wasn't supposed to happen this way. Nobody believed it. It was crazy. And then literally I felt horrible for the Divas just because they had to follow that match. And literally everybody's still chanting for Undertaker or booing because of what just happened. They can't even really have a match. It was tough.
That is.
And they actually didn't do they actually had a decent match. They had all these different moves that I haven't seen them do. So they actually had an entertaining match, but nobody really paid attention because everybody was still stuck on the Undertaker match.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, pretty much everything can be summed up with that shocked Undertaker guy. That wide-eyed, like, what the hell just happened look. That just really, like, I didn't even know what to think because I thought somebody was screwing with me because there was a bunch of conversation going around the room at the time, and we were just kind of like, we were just kind of BSing at the time. And
we kind of heard the 3 count. We're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, like we heard 3, and we noticed Undertaker wasn't the guy pinning somebody.
Now, what was it? Just me, or did the bell not ring for 10 seconds after the 3 count?
Yeah, I don't think they knew. Like the bell didn't ring. He called for the bell, and then they didn't ring it. So everybody thought it was messed up. Everybody, oh, that was only a 2, that wasn't 3, and then it was a 3. And then but I will say with the way Brock and Paul Heyman played off, with it happening, I think they looked like they were surprised too.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think that just caught everybody else off by surprise too, because they're like, "What happened? Did we just win?"
Yeah, right. It was just such a shock for everybody involved. You just couldn't react correctly, and the worst, the person I really felt bad for was my buddy Dominic, mine and Joe's buddy. He is such an Undertaker fan. He actually has an Undertaker tattoo on him, and he had to watch this happen and watch one of his idols lose the biggest thing that happened in his career. So.
Yeah, I was there with D'Angelo Williams of the Panthers, and he's a huge Undertaker fan.
Oh.
So, and before the match started, I'm like, what would you do if Lesnar actually wins? He's like, I know it's not going to happen, but what would you do? And he's like, honestly, I don't know. I think I might would leave.
Oh.
And just seeing his face when he lost, he's one of the wide mouths, dropped, hit the floor, everything, and he didn't talk for 10 minutes.
Oh, damn.
So if you guys were sitting closer, he would have been the shocked Undertaker guy.
Well, we were sitting fifth row, because the first 4 rows,
mm-hmm.
they were outstandingly outpriced. They were $2,000,
Ooh.
and it included a picture that's signed by some of the wrestlers. And then it was a significantly drop off at row 5.
Wow.
Okay.
That's where we were.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I mean, come on. For them to charge that much for the first 4 rows is just you know something's wrong.
I think you get to take the chair home and all that shit too. But
I'd like to get to hit Vince over the head with that chair for what he's charging. Holy crap, dude!
That's one of the most.
But I will say, I think it worked for them, with it happening like that, because if Undertaker does wrestle again, there's no pressure on he has to win and all that kind of stuff, and they can pick and choose the match and all that kind of stuff. So it actually works out. I just didn't like the fact that it was Lesnar that won, because to me, he's not a full-time wrestler.
That was my big argument, was that he dropped the streak to a part-timer, and that's just really annoying.
I think I was saying, it was the first time really that I didn't feel like, okay, this guy could break the streak,
mm-hmm.
and then he broke the streak.
Yeah, I mean, I think my dark horse, but my favorite to have broken the streak would have been Shawn Michaels. Those were 2 incredible matches that the 2 of them had, and I really, deep down in my heart of hearts, if anybody should have done it, I would have thought it would be him, because the 2 of them put so much into the industry and really made such a big mark that it would be a lot more understandable to see him win it and him break the streak.
But what's the end game in that? I mean, Michaels, what does he do after that? How does that benefit him? The Michaels, he's well established as Mr. WrestleMania. There's no. I was watching SmackDown yesterday on my DVR, and I thought about who should have actually broken the streak. Okay, I think Undertaker should have beat Brock Lesnar, and then next year, the Undertaker could have lost to a young up-and-coming star, and he would have been 22 and Bo!
Oh, fuck you.
Come on. With Bo Dallas's gimmick, as much as I hate the guy.
Oh,
come
man.
on.
Sweet Jesus,
it's
no.
Undertaker would never agree to that, though.
Yeah.
I know.
Good on him for that. It's such a tough thing to be dealing with. I mean, you have... Okay, if you give it to, an established guy, you don't get that rub, and that's the big criticism. Is okay, we want to give it to a new guy, but then you put the pressure on the new guy. What if he doesn't pan out? And you can't. It's like a no-win scenario. Like everybody. We've been watching Undertaker for years, decades.
Oh yeah,
have an amazing streak. It's unfortunate it ended. I was always wanting to just have it not end. I was always wanting him to just quietly disappear because his gimmick is the dead man and make him like, you know, a legend, you know, and make it part of wrestling mythology where he theoretically could come back, even though wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We know he's not going to come back, but he's the dead man and his character is, you know what I mean? Like, that would have been awesome. In my opinion, that's what I wanted, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I got a question for Gary, actually, about that. Where are you at now? About the
I'm
whole...
in Cleveland right now. Go ahead. No, that's your... Go ahead.
Like, what's your thought on it ending a few months removed now? Like, are you okay with it? Or... Because, I mean...
I think I'll be okay with it depending on what they do in the future with it. Like, so if he wrestles again this year and they wrestle like something for like they've been all the talks with Sting, if him and Sting wrestle if 100 years health wants to, then it's the match you don't know who's going to win. Icon and make it where it's a great story where now either one can win and there's no pressure. Because if you would have had him win and go against Sting, you know Sting's going to lose because of the streak. But now you can make a legitimate match and you never know who's going to win. So I think that works. I just don't, and I don't foresee them doing anything with Brock Lesnar right now. They haven't really played it off. He's been on break, so like I don't know what they're going to do with that avenue. I'm just happy it wasn't Cena though. I'm more happy with Lesnar than breaking the streak.
Now here's my whole take on it. Now, if you were going to give it to somebody that's more current, that's kind of got got something going on, I personally would love to have seen Cesaro break the streak. Just because of the fact that he's got oceans of talent. He's got, he's got his gimmick's kind of off, but he's a Paul Heyman guy, so that would have worked too. I love watching this guy in the ring every friggin' match. And I think he would have put on an awesome match. And for him to break the streak, he's got so much ahead of him in his career. That's an accolade that could drive him for a good portion of his career at least. And he's a full-timer.
Well, I think what you do now is you have the Paul Heyman guy that broke the streak, conquered the streak, and Paul Heyman's going to come out and brag about it every single time, even though he's with Cesaro.
Yeah. And
eventually you get Cesaro versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And Cesaro beats the guy that beat the streak, and he gets that rub. It's not a direct.
That would be interesting.
It's not a direct rub like you would like to see for a guy to actually beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania. But it's it's against a guy who can still go, and not saying that Undertaker can't, but he's still banged up from WrestleMania 2 months later.
Yeah, I mean his body has taken such a beating over the years. And of course, we all know as you get older, your recovery time from an injury is a lot longer. So it's understandable. And now that you mention it, a match between Cesaro and Brock Lesnar would be pretty awesome because of the physicality of Brock Lesnar and the just pure friggin' strength of Cesaro. You could really make that an entertaining match. I mean, it's going to take a lot out of both of them, honestly. But it's still going to be something that is just that could steal any show that I know of, and I'd pay the $10 for the WWE Network just for that one match.
Well, you pay $60. You gotta lock in for 6 months.
That's true. I'd pay the $60. I would do it.
Well, $80 because by then the price will have gone up.
Man, now everybody's gonna shit on me. Fuck.
That's what we do.
Damn it. Okay, I'll pay.
So there's you got an event coming up before we get on to the pay-per-view in Middleburg, Florida, Gary. You got the AFWB football camp. I think it's pretty cool. You go back to your high school and do this. What is involved with this upcoming event in the Florida camp?
Like we do a 2-day camp at my high school, and we do football camp for kids, and we open it up to like all of the areas, all of my area, high school that we went to played against, and all like the Jacksonville area, and we have about 200 kids come out, and it's all with 18, so high school kids come too that are getting ready to go to college or training still, and we just teach more basic details and more. For the older kids, we'll teach a little more because they have more understanding, and just help them broaden their understanding of the sport we play, that we love to play. And then we also do one in Boston in July at my buddy's high school that he went to.
It's kind of like to prepare them for the expectations of college and university a little bit.
And just like even for the guys that are still in high school that still have more years to play in high school, it just gives them a better understanding of what would be expected of them and just more techniques that they might not be getting.
Now, is it easier to do the ones here in the States than the ones that you do outside of the country in countries where they think of football as soccer?
It is a little easier just because you have a more understanding, and the language barrier is a lot easier. But I think it's more rewarding out of the state because you're teaching kids that they know the sport, they play the sport a little bit, but they're being taught by people that don't really know the real basics of the sport. So you're pretty much breaking down everything for them, and then you're seeing them succeed with that. And then our overall goal with international camps, too, is to get these kids looked at by colleges here in the States, where they might have an opportunity to play here in the States versus just staying here and playing. They might get a chance to go play and get a scholarship. Because colleges don't recruit football out of the States for the most part. They do basketball, stuff like that, but they don't for football. So we're trying to break that trend.
Okay.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. So, we do have something coming up tonight.
Big event in Chicago.
Yes.
Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals in the NHL.
Will you be watching, Gary?
I will not. I'll be watching wrestling.
He's on the wrestling show. He don't want to talk hockey. I'm watching the pay-per-view.
Hey,
I got breaking news here. Phil Brooks was seen picking his nose. His WWE return is now imminent.
Oh, Jesus.
I actually saw, this is genuine, on a dirt sheet, the headline, breaking news, CM Punk says something. Because he tweeted. CM Punk says something or CM Punk speaks.
See, that's
definitely breaking news.
That's the thing. Gary just wants to talk wrestling here on our wrestling show. But CM Punk, to break his silence, it took the LA Kings mascot to tweet to him. And he starts tweeting back. But anyway, yes, there is also in Chicago tonight at the Allstate Arena, WWE Payback, which starts with the kickoff match on the 7:30 pre-show.
Yes. Oh, yes.
This is I know that this is one George has been looking forward to.
Oh, yes, dude.
This match.
So much. Oh.
And in fact, I'll start with you, George, because I know you've been looking forward to this so much. Hair versus mask. Hornswoggle versus El Torito.
Oh, my God. After the WLC match of last month, which totally blew my mind, and I'm so happy it happened. Tonight is going to be yet another one of those great matches. There will be many headshots to nuts. There's going to be a lot of comic antics going on. And in the end, Torito is going to beat the other little guy, Hornswoggle. And Hornswoggle will go bald. That is my prediction.
All right. Gary, how about you?
I don't think they're going to unmask El Torito, so I think Hornswoggle's going to be shaven tonight.
All right, Mark.
Yeah, I've heard people say that if he gets shaven, he's going to look an awful lot like a tiny Stone Cold. They're going to do that.
JT.
When in doubt. What?
Wait a minute. So does that mean that? Oh yeah. Oh. So does that mean that Hornswoggle is? It's not. It's going to be Hornswoggle 158. I know it takes a second to. It had to take a second to sink in because I had to.
You had to do the math.
I had to come up with the number. That would be so cool if they could do that.
All right, JT.
Sorry.
So yeah, basically the universal go-to is Hornswoggle. So Hornswoggle will get his head shaved. And Maven Fan says, so this one Rebel will beat Charlie Haas.
All right, G.
Yeah, I'm not getting burned again. This is. He already lost a tail. He's gonna win, and it's the kickoff show. I like this idea of a stone cold Hornswoggle, so let's go with it. Let's roll.
Yeah, I can't see El Torito losing the mask. What the fuck is the point?
Yeah, then you just have a little guy in a, that's not even a gimmick anymore for a tag
Plus,
team.
in kayfabe, he's a real anthropomorphic bull, according to JBL.
Oh, Jesus.
He doesn't have a mask, it's his face.
Did you hear him selling the injury to his tail?
Oh my! He oversold it.
They cut his tail off, Michael.
This is just sad. This is bad. Holy shit!
Makes me wish they had JR so we get that bull had a family.
Oh Jesus! Oh my God! His tail's broken in half.
How about the racist Russian Rusev?
Wow, that's a great tongue twister.
That was tough to say. He's taking on Big E.
Wow.
G.
I'm gonna go with Rusev. I think they're pushing him, and he seems to be the guy that they want to elevate. I don't know if I'm thrilled about it, but no, you can't like every single guy on the show, so be it.
JT.
Am I muted?
No, you're on.
Okay, well, I've been going between mute and not mute.
Okay.
In Soviet Russia,
Jesus.
Rusev beat you.
Oh fuck.
Mark.
And Maven fan says Crazy Steve will beat the Benjamin guy. You the one from Team Angle.
Oh boy.
Mark.
Okay.
I went with Rusev in the predictable. Seeing how it's become Russia versus America, Big E has every chance of winning.
It's true. Gary.
I agree. I don't like that they're pushing Rusev. I think that he might win, but I'm going to go with Biggie Langston. I want him to win, and so I'm going to go with him winning.
George.
I think it's going to be one of those things where there's not going to be a clear-cut winner. It's going to be like a double count out or something like that, just so you could keep it going.
Lana's legs will interfere.
I was going to say, no matter what, we all win because of Lana. And after the decision is made, Rusev will walk out of the arena in a white pointy hood.
Her ass gets its own entrance theme.
Oh, dude. Oh, man, Lana. Ay, caramba. Yes, Joe?
I agree with you, George. I think, well, I agree with you on most things, but I agree with you that I don't think we're going to get a clear winner. If anything, it's going to be Rusev because of interference.
Yeah.
Because I can't see Rusev losing his second pay-per-view match when they're pushing him as this monster.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Big E is a monster in his own right, and I can't see him losing.
And they don't want to, take anything off of Big E in terms of just in terms of his image and everything like that. He's a big guy. He just lost his title. You don't want to continue a downward slide with him. So you want to kind of put him on an even keel with Rusev and double count out, double disqualification, whatever you want to call it. That could play a lot easier into things.
Okay, well, while we're on the subject of titles, the Divas title, Paige defends against Alicia Fox. George.
There is no way, and I mean no way, that Paige loses this match. That's all I've got to say.
Of course not.
No.
Because if she lost, then Alicia Fox's gimmick doesn't make sense.
Yes.
She's not going to have her little fit. I agree with you 100%. Her whole gimmick is spazzing out after losing.
Mm-hmm.
So if she wins, there's no reason for her to spaz out. So, yeah, Paige, for sure.
If she wins, she spontaneously combusts.
The whole gimmick is shot.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the only thing you could do with her if she wins. Is she just explodes, and that's it.
And they gotta have a live sex celebration with the title.
Oh boy!
That episode of Raw was on Wednesday on the WWE Network.
Oh jeez.
Anyways, Gary.
I think that Paige is going to win as well, but I do like what they've been doing with Alicia Fox as a character.
And I feel the same way, is because I've said it before, it actually makes me want to watch Alicia Fox's matches to see what's going to happen. Because she's gone crazy after all these matches. Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going with Paige. But on the Alicia Fox thing, I like it, but they're too long and awkward.
Yeah, they are kind of drawn out, Mark. I agree with you on that. And I really hate how she abuses sodas.
I mean, her tantrums are longer than the match.
Yeah, it's true.
Let's throw this question to a guy who's probably never seen Paige wrestle, JT.
He might have watched NXT for a while.
He might have.
I haven't watched NXT since like the second season that was on. What was it? What network was it on? Was it on USA?
It was on Sci-Fi.
No, Sci-Fi. Yeah. But no,
Caval won that season.
I'm gonna go double with Maven Fan because I like Maven Fan's pick. She picks Karen Angle beats JT Hogan.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
And we've got
sure.
G agreed with George,
Mm-hmm.
and I agree. I think there's no sense in Paige losing. If we want to keep having Alicia Fox flip out for whatever reason.
Because it's in Chicago and she lives there now, we have to bring up AJ Lee.
Oh.
There, we've done it. Let's move on.
All right. No holds barred elimination match. The Shield versus Evolution. G.
I guess, there's this movie coming out. It's called Guardians of the Galaxy, so I'm picking the Shield.
JT.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the opposite. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy is coming out. So basically, if it's an elimination match, Batista is the one that will get eliminated. But you think Hunter's gonna put them over?
Did last month.
3 guys have to get eliminated, GT.
Yeah,
It's been a while since you watched, but
Orton will spend the whole match walking down to the ring. So and Hunter will they'll eliminate Batista, and then Hunter will just bury the other 3. He'll pin them all. He'll pedigree them all at once, and then pin them all at the same time.
And then actually literally bury them like a cat turd.
so this is a shovel match.
All right. Mark.
He'll pin them with a tea bag.
Oh, beautiful.
That's Gary's new finishing move.
Shield wins.
The Titanic teabag.
Gary, what do you think?
I don't foresee them having the Shield lose with the way the storyline. I know Triple H doesn't like putting people over. Well, he does, but the storyline, he's all for business, and they're the best for business. But I foresee the Shield winning.
George?
Oh, absolutely, the Shield. It's going to be a fantastic match. Oh man, seriously, it might be my favorite match of the whole night. But
Good chance it will be the best match of the night.
I think so.
Could be
so because you have 2 stipulations instead of 1, and it just seems like it's going to work out really nicely between both teams. Like you're going to see a sledgehammer, obviously, and that's probably going to eliminate somebody. But I think it's going to end up being I think we're going to see a Survivor Series type thing in the end, where it's going to be Evolution versus Roman Reigns, and he's just going to go nuts and eliminate the Evolution.
I was kind of thinking the same thing, but at the same time, the way that Evolution's been standing over the Shield to end the show every week.
That's Triple H's chub move.
It is. It makes sense for the Shield to just decimate them one by one, like they said on SmackDown.
Could happen.
Could happen. And monkeys might fly out of my butt.
Maven Fan says Menagerie beats Aces and Eights.
Oh, jeez.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
Wait. Who is Nux fighting for in that fight?
The guy on stilts.
Himself. He's gonna just
Yeah, because Nux would be in both groups, wouldn't he? He's gonna eliminate himself.
Not very well thought out, Maven Fan, huh?
All right. Last man standing match: John Cena versus the guy on my T-shirt, Bray Wyatt. Hey, the guy on George's T-shirt too. Hey. I wonder who George is picking.
Hey, that's right. I'm picking Bray Wyatt, even though I know John Cena will probably win because that's how shit goes in this fucking company.
All right, Gary, who you got?
Bray Wyatt better win.
I said that at WrestleMania, and it didn't get me very far.
Oh, I know. Trust me. I was watching. I was not a fan of that.
You weren't here with us. George was threatening to kick puppies, and if Bray Wyatt didn't win.
Yeah, and I still owe a lot of puppy kicking apparently, because I haven't gotten on that since Bray Wyatt lost at WrestleMania.
Mark, who you got?
Bray has to win, but if Bray wins, the feud continues, and no one wants that. And Cena has to move on to win the vacated title.
Yeah, I guess. JT.
Yeah, well, we all know that a meteor could fall on, knock Cena down, and he'll still kick out it before 10. So we know Cena's winning, but we all want to see. We're all gonna pick. We're all gonna pick Bray. So.
I think your cat wanted to chime in with an answer there too.
That's my cat.
Oh, that was somebody's cat wanted to chime in with an answer. Okay, anyway, G.
Yeah, Cena. And I sound dejected because I agree. I want to see Bray Wyatt win, but like Mark aptly pointed out, it would continue, and it's a last man standing match. Where do you go from here?
Cena always wins last man standing too.
He does, yeah. and that's the thing is this is the blow. This is probably going to be the blowout for this feud, and of course the face has to win the feud because that's what the people are paying.
There's one thing they could do that would be awesome that they won't do, but would make actual sense to the storyline, and that is have John Cena, dig deep inside and have to, realize that he has to grab onto his inner monster and do something he doesn't want to do, which is basically the whole point of this thing, right?
Right.
If they do that and he wins, I'll be happy. I don't think he'll turn heel. That's kind of a pointless dream of the internet nerd wrestling fan community.
Mm-hmm.
I have my club card here, by the way. 10% off at Eric Bischoff's House of Dreams, but it's really that. Like, if that's how you build a story, you got to culminate a story. We need the climax, and that's the climax. And I hope that we get that. Is if we get that, I'll be happy, and I'll turn my attention away from the hockey game for a couple minutes to watch that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's basically.
I am Canadian.
Joker doesn't.
Gary, by the way, I'm Canadian. I will be watching hockey.
We'll be watching both. I will make sure we're able to watch both.
Maven fan says that Joe Cena and Bo Dallas will hug it out.
Oh boy.
But
Maven fan's slacking on her picks. She usually has the most epic, originally thought out picks.
But as much as I'd hate to do it, and I am wearing the Bray Wyatt T-shirt today, I gotta say John Cena's gonna win. I hate
Blasphemy.
Yeah. Anyway.
Embrace the hate, Cena. Embrace it.
United States title match. Sheamus defends against Cesaro. G.
Another one of these scenarios where I'm going to pick with my head, biased by my heart. I'm going Cesaro. I just Sheamus bores me. I don't want to see him at all. Cesaro.
JT.
Cesaro. I'm not gonna go with the ginger.
Mark.
I'm going Cesaro, but I can see Sheamus winning too.
Gary. Hello, Gary. You still there?
No, we lost him.
We lost him. We'll call him right back. Let's get him back on the line here.
All right, who do you got, Joe? While you're calling.
Well, I'm calling. I've got Cesaro. Why the hell not?
The ringer.
Let's see if we get Gary back here. That's weird.
Cesaro's going to swing him so hard his blood flows normally and he stops being so pale.
Oh, okay. We'll try Gary again in 1 second. George.
It's got to be the King of Swing.
Yeah, so it looks like among our panelists, our usual crew here, we're going to try Gary one more time.
Maven fan picks Nux to beats Mark Nice to win the U.S. title.
I'm not even a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
Neither are Sheamus and Cesaro. Hello, Gary.
Yes, I'm back.
All right, we lost you for a second there. Cesaro and Sheamus, U.S. title match. Who you got?
I like both of them. I think they're going to go with Cesaro.
All right. That makes it unanimous.
Magnanimous.
All right. Intercontinental title match. This is the last match on the card. Is Bad News Barrett versus Rob Van Dam. George.
Decorum time.
It's going to be Barrett. I really just, I like him a lot. He's got a ton of charisma, and he's an impressive wrestler, so I think it's going to be Bad News Barrett.
Gary?
I think they're going to go with Bad News Barrett. The way they've been pushing him over and everything, they definitely got to do that.
Mark.
Yeah, no Brits losing to a Yank. Though I would love it if this was last on the card, like Joe just said.
Well, the final match is going to be the no holds barred tag team match. But JT.
Barrett.
G.
Yeah, Barrett. I think this is exactly why you want to have a guy like Rob Van Dam around. Help put and build new guys over. So kudos. I mean, I think this is the best way to do it. Although we could be disappointed, unfortunately. You never know with this company. It's flip a coin, I guess.
It was only a month ago that Mark was calling him No Job Rob.
I still feel that way.
But if you...
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that if you think Rob Van Dam's winning, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Of course.
Yeah, but Barrett's a bare knuckle fighter. He won't take Rob's shit. He'll knock him out legit and pin him.
Barrett's a
He'll like
badass.
punch him. He'll be like midair trying to do one of those kicks, and Barrett will just whap him.
He's going to get the bull hammer in midair.
Okay, JT, what's Maven Fan got?
Maven Fan picked me to beat Cody to win the IC title.
That won't
Okay, then.
happen. You're going to job out JT.
Yeah, you prick.
Actually,
Yeah, I'll
Smith-
lose to his mustache.
So one more thing before we end the payback discussion.
Yes.
And that is, tonight Daniel Bryan
Yes.
has the choice to make. He can either give up the title or his wife gets fired. So what's
I'll
actually
fire the wife, dude.
what's actually going to happen? That's the question.
Triple H is gonna hold her in front of him and say, "Give me the title." He's gonna hand the title over, and then he's gonna break her arm.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to sum this up in 3 words, and this is for Daniel Bryan's for the better of him. It's what's best for Bryan. Ditch the bitch.
Yeah, fire the wife.
That's all I got to say about that. Fuck that shit.
Well, I'm of the mindset that neither one of those situations is actually going to happen. He's not going to hand over the title, and he's not going to let his wife get fired. Something else is going to happen. Is this the night we get Vince McMahon back?
Oh, we could only hope. That would be great.
He's coming back on the 6th pay-per-view after WrestleMania.
That's great.
Or 5th, whatever. The renewal pay-per-view. They'll actually call it renewal as well.
It's renewal time, kids. Get your wallets out. Let's do this shit. All right.
All right, so there's our payback predictions.
Always a pleasure.
And, of course, we'd like to thank Gary Barnidge for being a part of our panel, as per usual.
Appreciate you having me.
And we appreciate you coming on, and we wish you the best of luck in the upcoming NFL season. We're going to have you next month for next month's pay-per-view, right? Probably.
Perfect. I'm going to be there for that one, too, though. I'm going to that one.
Okay, cool. We'll have you on the show for that one.
And I will predict that Gary will have more than one touchdown this year. Actually, more in one game because they're playing the Raiders. So he'll probably get 3 touchdowns in that game.
I predict 3 touchdowns against the Bills. I'm all for it. All right. Anyways,
he's gonna be like in Buffalo. He's gonna be like Johnny, just give me the ball. my buddies are here. They want me to score 3 touchdowns and teabag somebody.
This has got to happen.
Actually, against the Raiders, he's going to do an Al Bundy and score 4 touchdowns.
Oh shit! Oh, that's great.
Gary, we wish you the best of luck in the upcoming NFL season. We hope you stay healthy through the season, and hope the Browns do well.
Yes.
And we thank you for coming on the show, and we will definitely have you back next month for whatever pay-per-view that is. I'm sure it's somebody will tell me what it is in a few minutes.
It's Money in the Bank.
Is it Money in the Bank? Okay.
That's funny because I was going to call it the Thank You for Your Money pay-per-view.
And remember, listeners, check out American Football Without Barriers. That's AFWBcamp.com.
I appreciate that.
No problem. Gary, thanks a
Thank
lot.
you all again for having me on.
Thank you. We'll talk to you
Yeah.
soon.
I'll take it easy.
Take care. All right. I'd say that
The
call.
Kings win, we Wyatt.
We Wyatt.
I'm a Blackhawks fan, man.
We're rooting for the Hawks tonight.
I knew this shit was going to happen. People were what was it? or are they down like 3-1?
Yeah.
Recently? Okay. And I had a few friends of mine at my guitar store saying, "Oh, they're down 3-1." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's the Blackhawks. What do you? Come on."
Well, I was there with you, and I kind of pointed out that the Kings were down 3-0 in their first series and came back to win.
Yeah. So
the Kings have a tendency to come back with deficits. They're not used to being up. It's going to be an interesting game. It really is. Even though it's a work, and we all know it's predetermined. I think. I don't really care who wins because we're gonna get a winner from the West for the Cup this year. I'm sorry, the East, man, the Rangers, like, they're a good team and all, but they're J-Browns compared to these two teams. Totally. This is like these two teams should be playing for the Cup, not fucking Rangers and all that bullshit.
Yeah, my cousin's a Habs fan. And he was so disappointed they lost to the Rangers. He said, I wouldn't have even been upset if they lost in the Cup final because Chicago and LA are the best two teams in the league.
Yeah.
But he was so disappointed they lost to the Rangers. I was like, well, it could have been worse. They could have gone to Game 7 and lost. He said, dude, there is no way they would have lost in Montreal in Game 7.
I want to see the Kings win in Madison Square Garden so we can make Jerry Lawler jokes.
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
All right. Well, with that said, Mark, why don't you introduce the break song for us?
It's a song called Endless Mist of Nightmares by someone who goes by the name Gatto Paint.
This is going to be another one of those that I'm not going to be able to find on Amazon, isn't it?
Yeah. They have free download links you can just link to.
Okay, I suppose I'll do that.
Okay.
All right, here's the song, and then we'll get back with David Fuller for the second half of the show.
Sweet.
That was Gato Paint featuring Shadow Cat Kirara. Endless Mist of Nightmares. Another one of those songs Mark picked.
It wasn't bad, I'll say that much.
That was good.
That was a good song. I like that.
It made me want to join in the operatic shit.
We've actually now got monitors in the studio. We can actually listen when we're off our headsets.
Yes.
So we can actually hear the break songs while we're having a conversation, and that was actually pretty good.
Damn straight.
Guys, I'm gonna bounce in about 15 minutes. I just want to know.
Okay.
All right.
Maven fan, come on. We know that you're. How do we know you're awesome in bed?
All right, guys, I'll find out. Jesus.
So JT's gonna go hop on his pogo ball. That's what they call it. He's hopping in his ball.
hoppity hip.
Little trampoline action for Sin Cara JT.
Sin JT.
He flips, he flops, he flips, he flops, he botches. Flip, flop, flop, flop. Sin Cara match.
Oh God. I love it.
I saw
that's
a
been wild.
Watch Dogs parody earlier.
Oh shit. I actually started playing that game this week. It's not too bad.
It's pretty
Wait,
good.
which game?
Watch Dogs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's.
I feel like the only person in the world who bought a normal, non-collector's edition with no season pass or guide.
Oh, you're not.
I did.
I didn't buy shit.
George didn't buy the season pass. I was there.
Yep.
I can vouch for that.
No season pass, no guide, no nothing, just the game.
I'm gonna buy it when it's $30 next month.
$30, or when it's part of the greatest hits collection and it's $20.
That's right. The games depreciate so much. Like the $60 drop day prices. It's. I don't know. I guess I have the things to do. I think it's called working.
Oh yeah.
So I don't get to play all the games I want to play, but I do want to check out Watch Dogs. In all seriousness, looks like a fun game.
Yeah,
I can hack and get achievement points.
Yeah, it's actually kind of like Grand Theft Auto, but with a hacking element to it.
I described it as Grand Theft Auto meets Assassin's Creed.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, the guy can't climb as much, although I wish he would.
He can't climb shit.
Yeah, he he can do little things here and there, but it's a fun game. I can't complain. I've played it a little bit, because I don't work, but I'm still busy. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's definitely worth a a couple playthroughs. So anyways,
This episode of Video Game Theater.
hey, it's better than cock talk.
It is. Hold on. Phone call coming in. Hello, David.
Hello, what's going on?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm watching Psycho Sid and Big Daddy Cool Diesel from the first In Your House. You guys are saving me right now.
The first In Your House. That would be in my neck of the woods.
Oh my gosh.
I'm in your house right now.
Syracuse, New York, Mother's Day, 1995, the first ever $14.95 pay-per-view, and it's Diesel and Sid. And I was talking to my brother-in-law just a few minutes ago before I called in, and back then we didn't know what was good shows and what wasn't, and I thought this was going to be the greatest show of all time. And of course I didn't care how much it cost because I wasn't paying for it. And then you grow up and you're like, oh,
it's like
Diesel and Sid. I like Sid. I think anybody who ever expected anything more out of Sid than what he got is an idiot. I always liked Sid. He came up with some real good blunders. I think there's a whole Box of Mania video on him, but yeah. What I'm trying to say is the show wasn't very good, but at the time it was fine.
They had the WWE Countdown show on the WWE Network, and one of the episodes was Biggest Blunders, and number 10 was Anytime Sid Opens His Mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, for as many managers as he had, he should have never had to open his mouth. I think his best run was when he was working for Vince and he had won the strap from Shawn, and then he had beat Brett. I think that was Sid's best run because he was a baby face, and but he would come out and that night when Brett was cussing and Sid came out and said, "I don't know, cry baby," and that was good because that wasn't probably scripted. So the best promos from Sid were probably the ones where he didn't have to read anything and he just spoke.
See, Psycho Sid. Psycho Sid, very entertaining guy, terrible with scissors. Awful.
Yes.
Awful with
Or if you're not a fan of Arn Anderson, great with scissors.
Yeah.
Just depends on.
Arn was in the Four Horsemen. I have to like him.
Yeah. So, hey, you know what? Nobody died. They've worked together since then. So, hey, just I wouldn't have messed with either one of those guys. I wouldn't have, especially not messing with Sid.
Well,
and if Sid grabs a pair of scissors, I'm running. I don't give a damn who I am.
And
I'm freaking running.
And he can't follow you because he's not allowed to run with scissors.
Exactly. Well, I mean, Sid probably isn't the most. I've spoken to Sid a few times. He's a real nice guy. But if you run and Sid's got a pair of scissors in his hands, more than likely, Sid's going to hurt himself running after you with scissors, then he's going to hurt you.
He's going to break his leg.
David, you had you just had Jim Cornette on IHWE Radio this past Wednesday. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I have somebody that wants to jump in on the call and say hi to the guys here. And she is the co-host of the Cornette Experience.
Hey!
And we're going to try and bring her in right now.
Alice, hello.
Hold up. We're getting her in.
And we'd like to welcome Alice Radley back to the show. Alice, you there?
Hello?
She says she's here, but she must not be able to hear us, right?
Alice!
Hello, everybody.
Oh, there she is. Hello.
Hey! Hi, Alice! Hi. She can't hear us.
Live radio, ladies and gentlemen.
Live radio.
This is the way it goes.
You get what you pay for.
Maybe we should go on podcast one and shill a bunch of shit.
Can we?
Maybe they'll pay for better technology for us to have our show.
Think so, Joe Cena for.
Oh, wait a minute. There you guys are. Hello.
Oh, Alice can hear us now.
Yes.
Hello, Alice.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
We're good. We're on with David Fuller from IHWE. He's the founder of IHWE down in Fort Worth, Texas. He just had your good friend Jim Cornette on his podcast this past week.
His podcast? Oh, my God.
His podcast, yes.
Poor Jim.
I can't talk to him.
I know Jim wouldn't have liked that.
He's still shaking. Oh, that poor man. Nobody knows the trouble that he's seen.
Indeed. Well, shit, he has to work with me twice a week. So.
Hell, I would consider that an honor, Alice.
Aww.
All right,
Shut up.
It's been a long time. I haven't spoken to you in a while, so I'm very glad to hear from you again.
Oh, thank you very much. I enjoy you vicariously on the old Facebook, seeing pictures of you posing like a wild beast with your bass.
Hey,
very excellent.
I'm actually dressing better now. See, I clean up pretty good, so now I'm trying to continue it.
And I notice you're rocking the Madonna gloves, which is very cool. I'm assuming you're hiding your aging hands just like she does.
Yes, I am. It's terrible. It looks like my hands look like craisins underneath. So you definitely don't want to look at that.
Alice,
are they as tasty as craisins?
Sometimes.
Alice just shot me a message on Skype to ask if it was cool for her to do a drop in, and George is over here waving at the screen.
I was too, Alice. I swear I was such a dork. I'm like, hi, Alice. I saw your picture.
I could see you. I was like, hey.
I saw your picture pop up. I'm like, oh shit, there she is. Hi.
Just put her on a video call so you can actually wave to her.
Eventually it will happen. We will have to do that just because it'd be funny.
She could see your craisins hands.
Yes, I'm gonna wear the gloves. I got gloves in the car.
Awesome.
I'll hide them.
for my protection.
Yeah, but they're not ribbed. They're ribbed on the inside for my pleasure. Yes.
Well, at least somebody's having fun. And that's the important part.
Sometimes I feel a little selfish. I can't help myself.
But I'm here.
Yes.
I'm queer. Get used. No. I'm here. Where's G? Where's my sweetheart? Where's my true and loyal friend?
What up, Alice?
There he is.
Hey there, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm tired. It's Sunday morning. I'm eating some hash browns, but I'm making things better with hash browns.
Ooh, hash browns. Right on. Hash browns with real hash?
Oh, for sure.
Nice.
It's the only way to hash brown. I had biscuits and marmalade this morning, which doesn't exactly sound right, but it was very good.
Oh, that sounds pretty appetizing, actually. I haven't had marmalade in friggin' forever.
It was awesome. I went to a British import store yesterday and picked up a big old jar. So wrestling and stuff, though,
Yes,
right?
so
I feel
wrestling.
like I should make this about wrestling. I'm sure you guys have already talked about this, but can we talk a little Payback?
We actually did.
Yeah, we did, but
I know,
We've
but
already spent
you
an
can-
hour on it.
You
What I'd
and
like to
you and
say
David
is-
weren't here with us, so you and David can give your predictions if you'd like, or
No, I don't
opinions,
have any predictions. I
or
don't give a shit.
opinions, whatever.
let's talk Payback and
What
that's
it's,
it.
Someone
what it's
really
all
gives a
about
shit.
for me is does anybody believe, and I know you talked about this too because you guys are thorough, but I wasn't here for it. So in terms of this, are we calling it a pay-per-view? This special event, in any way outstripping what was the fantastic NXT takeover? Is it possible?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I don't
No.
think so.
I don't. I don't think so.
Joe, let me jump in here. I read, which automatically means what I read is scripture. It's true because I read it online. I read online that the mentality backstage is that they are going to deliver the best pay-per-view possible because they cannot allow NXT TakeOver to outshine the WWE superstars. My only question is, okay, that's your theory this week. What is your theory every week on Raw and SmackDown when NXT outshines that? I don't understand what the big deal is. NXT TakeOver was a fantastic 2-hour wrestling broadcast. I don't necessarily know what the card they have tonight, if they can exceed what TakeOver was, just because of the little things, and sometimes enough little things adding up mean big things. I don't know, but I'm going to go in with an open mind. I'm not paying $54.95 or $44.95, so I'm expecting one match to really stick out. It's the same match that really stuck out last month. Hopefully that gets a little more time, but that's the mentality that I read. And again, if I read it, it must be scripture. But I don't know. So I'm glad she asked that because I was going to bring that up.
Are we really thinking?
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Alice. Feel free.
The way I see it is that remember NXT Arrival? Now that happened before WrestleMania, and that was, I think, one of the better special events. We'll call it that because that's what they're calling it, that I'd ever seen. And then they went on to do WrestleMania, which I thought was mediocre. So I think the idea that they think they can outdo or that their WWE special events will be better than their NXT special events has already been proven to be a bit of a fallacy.
See, my thought here is if they're going to try and outdo what they did on TakeOver, does anybody at all really think that Paige and Alicia Fox, not to take anything away from Paige, is going to come anywhere close to the Charlotte-Natalia match?
Hell no. There's no story.
No,
and I think
it
almost doesn't matter what Charlotte and Natalia did in the ring when you look at the story itself. I feel like I'm talking over somebody and I feel bad.
It's Mr. Fuller.
Yeah, it's okay. No, she's right. She's right. She made the story for a plethora of reasons. It's not. Number one, you don't have two Hall of Famers at ringside with a story past of their own. Flair and Brett legitimately didn't like each other for the longest time. They might not still like each other. They played nice on Thursday, but I was watching it expecting to see Flair and Brett go at it on the floor, not storyline. So I was expecting that, and I'm glad it didn't. I thought they served their purpose. They didn't make it about them. And Charlotte and Natalia had something to prove. Natalia, the character she plays on Total Divas, I think is a little asinine. I think Natalia can go out and have a solid wrestling match with anybody on the show. And she was there to make Charlotte. She did. I think Paige and Alicia Fox have been doing some really good stuff on TV, but NXT made the women's match more important than WWE has made it a women's match on TV in how long?
Well, to be honest with you, I think that should have been the main event on TakeOver. They wouldn't have done that, but I think it could have easily taken the place of the Neville Kidd match.
I agree.
I just regret I didn't get to watch it.
Well, dude, there's still time.
I'm hoping there is.
Have you not watched it yet, Joe?
I've seen it. George hasn't seen it.
I haven't been able to. Unfortunately, I had a couple things go on this week in terms of music, and it kind of prevented me from watching the NXT special. So,
Yeah, I wasn't able to watch it live. I caught like the first hour at work Thursday night, and then I caught the second hour last night just after my kid went to bed. I kind of sat around watching the rest of the show.
Yeah, even though they tried to deny us in Canada from watching, I watched it. George, I'll send you a link, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
Buddy?
Buddy? Hey? Maple syrup?
Yeah.
I have questions. When you look at the let's call it a performance review of Paige and Alicia Fox, not their matches, just sort of individually. I think that Alicia Fox is meeting and exceeding expectations. I feel that Paige is not reaching expectations. Am I the only person that's feeling that?
Well, I've said it.
I know she's purty. Let's put that aside.
Okay, I'll stop that.
Well, I've said on several occasions that Alicia Fox over the last couple of weeks has managed to do something that, I haven't experienced in a long time, and that is somebody's actually making me want to watch a Divas match.
And she has a personality. They actually gave her a character.
Exactly. It's not that I want to see her wrestle. It's that I want to see what she's going to do next.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which is sad because
let me interject with a question since this is a discussion. And we'll apologize for talking over each other later because we're doing a discussion. And okay, yeah, they've been doing something different with Alicia Fox, but if she just goes out tonight and loses to Paige, I really think Alicia Fox loses a lot of her luster. At the same time, they're trying to make something out of Paige. She brought up a valid point. Paige, I don't think, has met expectations. She came out the night after WrestleMania, arguably the best Raw of the year, one of the better Raws of all time. That WrestleMania crowd was still there. But I think the problem was I think Paige needed to finish out a program with AJ. And AJ left. As soon as she did the JOB, she took time off, and that was to ride her out. So she goes right into a program. It seemed like they scurried to throw Paige into a program with Tamina Snuka. I don't have anything against Tamina Snuka, but she's been Virgil for months.
Mm-hmm.
She's been Virgil, and nobody ever wanted to see Virgil wrestle the champ. They always wanted to see DiBiase. I'm not saying AJ's DiBiase as far as a worker standpoint, but in this situation, Mr. Snooze is wrestling the champion. Nobody wants to see that. And then she goes right into this program with Alicia Fox, which seems like they just kind of threw together. If Alicia Fox loses, I think she's back to where she was before, and I think that's bad. What are your thoughts?
So basically, what you're saying is, and this is my thought as well, is the problem with Paige isn't her work rate; it's as much as it is her booking.
Yeah,
they're not booking her well.
And that's a con out. That's a cop out. People could easily say, well, that's just a cop out, and maybe it is. I don't know. I think AJ and Paige was the program. They had a tease on Raw. They had a really short match. AJ went away, and instead of following through with the match at Extreme Rules, and maybe tonight, maybe with the final match in the program, and maybe then after going with AJ, because I think AJ, no matter how much of a problem she is backstage or what people think about her, I think she really would have worked really hard to get Paige where she needed to be, maybe more than the other divas. So I think if they went with the program that they needed to go with, I think Paige would be in a better situation. But at the same time, I don't know. She could get better. She could get worse. I don't know. Time will tell. But I think it's early in the game to see, because they threw her against Tamina. She won a Battle Royal the following Wednesday, and now she's been thrown into this program with Alicia Fox because they tapped into something with Alicia. It's starting to get over, so now we're going with that. But I think the AJ program is what she needed to be where she's at, but I could be wrong.
My understanding of it is that she wasn't intended to get the belt to begin with. It was because AJ Lee was leaving that they had to drop the belt really, really quickly. And so that's why we ended up with Paige as a Divas champion, where she really didn't belong. I don't think it's it definitely wasn't time. They needed far more back and forthing to get to that point. And now you've got a champion that nobody knows anything about. I mean, if you watch NXT, but not everybody watches NXT. So you have a bunch of casual WWE fans who don't give a shit, nor do they have a reason to. The couple times that she's been on the mic, she's delivered really uncomfortable, weak promos. She doesn't seem to have much skill in that regard. She, I think, showed that again when she came to the NXT TakeOver and cut a little bit of a promo. She's good in the ring, but not great. And we have to remember, yes, she's been in this since she was, 12, 13 years old. She was born into the business, but she's still only 21 years old. And that is awfully youthful. And I think she needs a hell of a lot more time.
You're hitting the point. You're making the exact point, and you're making them, you're very articulate in what you're saying. It's obvious that they just threw it on her, because the normal protocol is if somebody's the champion down in NXT, they don't get brought up to television. They would have to drop the belt down there to get called up to television, like a Bo Dallas. Or obviously we've seen the NXT champion Seth Rollins, Big E Langston. We've seen the protocol. And you're right. I mean, I brought this up. I think Daniel Moody, son of Paul Bear, got online and he said, Adam Rose, don't think it's going to work. And I was like, okay, I think it's too early. And they're like, oh, he gets really over at Full Sail University. He gets over with a bunch of college kids because he's got a bus with a bunch of people dressed up in costumes, and he's got a bunny rabbit jumping around. Hell yeah, that's funny. But is he going to get over in the global, I hate to say this, but it is what it is, WWE universe? I don't know. That might just be for that audience. And Paige, as good as she is in the ring, she might just be toward a specific demographic, and I don't know, but you're making some really good points.
All right, folks, I gotta take off. You guys have a good rest of the show. I gotta go.
We'll see you, James.
We're already chasing people away.
Yeah, it did.
Well, he did tell
Dave, enjoy watching the rest of the pay-per-view from my city, the one that we had.
He did
say over.
He did say before you guys called in that he was
show from Madison Square Garden, so still New York.
No, I can't dispute anything that anyone has said about Paige. I guess the head scratcher is if AJ had to leave and they had to get the belt off her, and you look at the storytelling involved in the Diva division over the last couple of years, who else would have they given it to?
I would have liked to have seen Naomi get it. I think Naomi is very athletic. Whether she is a good catch-as-catch-can technician is arguable. But I think she pops the crowd. She can do she can do some flippity stuff, some spots. That doesn't necessarily mean she's champion material, but I think she's got an okay personality. And
let's be honest. What diva on the roster is a good catch-as-catch-can wrestler? I mean, seriously.
People are like, what?
But it begs the question, though, if she knew she was leaving. Unless she told them.
I'm going to go on the limb that she didn't exactly know she was leaving until she decided she was going to leave.
Okay, and she would have had to have made that decision the day after WrestleMania, because any diva on the main roster could have won that title the night before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true.
But look who AJ's with. I mean, look who she's living with. I mean, it could be she is in a really delicate situation, and I actually feel bad for her.
I'll say this.
She has. Go ahead.
I'll say the same thing about AJ that I said about Punk at the beginning of the show. She'll be at an arena in Chicago. It just won't be the Allstate Arena.
Right. I mean, she's obviously found the person she loves or she loves right now, and that's fine. She's allowed to have a personal life. Everybody is, but just the situation she's in, because she gets shit at work. And she has to go home and hear Punk probably complain. So, I mean, she is just, she's under contract. She can't do what Punk did, because they will take her to court. For whatever reason, they just kind of let Punk do his thing. I think, I don't know. I don't know the story. I'm not going to get into that. It's been talked about to death. But, so I don't know. I don't necessarily know when she made the decision, but hell, it might have just been Punk might have just called and said, "Hey, tell him he's taking time off," But I don't know.
Well, they're about to get married, so so there's that.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't help but think that she must think that she's his peer and that she's in the position that he's in. Whereas I have to believe that he has considerably more money than she does. So he's in a place where he can retire. She's, what, 26? 27 maybe?
Right.
She can't possibly think she's ready to retire. I think she's going to end up in a situation where in 2 or 3 years down the line, they're going to be divorced. She's going to be broke because I see him as being the kind of guy who will get a prenuptial agreement. He'll still have his money, and she'll have to go back out on the road working.
We could see
just a theory.
We could see a potential Sonny situation. Everybody,
I mean, look at the years.
Oh God. Well, I guess for everybody's benefit, I hope so, because that means she'll turn up nude in a few places.
I know.
Well, let's look at Punk's history in the business as far as his personal life is concerned. He's dated.
We got a whole nother show going on.
We do. We're going to talk.
This happens sometimes on our show. It's cool.
He was with Daphne. He was with AJ. And he was with Lita. He was with
He's a smart man. Let him do his thing.
AJ wanted to grow up to be Lita, and she did.
and he goes on and on.
He just left Lita like less than a year ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For AJ, and now they're getting married, like because the best marriages are within the first year of dating.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
my first marriage was 2 years after I met the girl, and it was the worst. Like
Joe still hates it.
And wasn't AJ with Jay Lethal before she? I mean, I don't know. I mean,
and she also dated. Oh God, who's the guy that plays Ethan Carter III?
Derek Bateman.
That guy.
Yeah,
she dated him for a while.
Okay.
She's gotten around as well.
She's obviously moved up. As far as choosing names.
Well, no accounting for taste in some cases, but. Punk, he's a man I want to model my dating life after. He has
dated like every single.
Well, apparently, all you need to do that is have a terrible body, a bad attitude, and like eye bags and a shitty attitude. I mean, that it's just the worst attitude you can possibly have.
I think I have most of that except for the attitude.
I think Punk has dated like any women's wrestler that George and I would be like, she's hot.
Yeah,
Punk's dated her.
Yeah, exactly. This is why I'm living my sex life vicariously through CM Punk right now. And
I get what he gets out of it. I do not get what the women get out of it. He's so unappealing and so unattractive. It's so confusing to me. I don't see his.
You don't understand. They get the pipe bomb.
Ew. Sorry. I mean, because I remember the shoot interview that Maria Canales did, because remember, she did him too.
That's right.
She said he was decidedly average, so what's the...
But those...
She wasn't uncomplimentary, but,
He's the best.
Who would have, it's a good thing he wasn't there in 2002, 2003, and he would have made a pass after Sable, because then he would have been fighting Lesnar for real, and that would have been ugly.
He would have died.
She doesn't look like his type. I don't know why.
No, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. Care of him because he was a Paul Heyman guy in August.
Oh man, that would have been awful. Just because.
All right. Anyway, this is supposed to be about Takeover, and now we're talking about the lifestyles of the unemployed and monotonous, apparently.
I didn't realize there were rules. Did you guys institute rules since the last time I've been on the show?
There's never rules on this show. David's used to his show. He's trying to get everything back on track here.
Yeah. He's trying to keep us on the rails.
No rules. There's no rules.
Good.
Just tangents.
I like it when it's lawless. It's so much better than
lawless. Better than Lawler.
I think
so much better than Lawler. Oh, absolutely.
I think David's just waiting for his time to get back at myself and Michael McCurdy from last week.
Oh God!
Talking about working for him.
Oh boy.
I'm plotting.
He's plotting.
I'm plotting. I got Michael back on Wednesday. I talked to Cornette for an hour on Wednesday before we went on the air, and I just wanted to tell him a little bit about me. That way I didn't get on, and Cornette just thought I was he knew I was a total spare by the time we got on the air, as opposed to just thinking it. So I talked to Cornette on Wednesday, and I said, okay, here's the deal, here's blah, 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 blah. And we're going to be working more with Cornette. I'm making that announcement next Sunday, and Jim's just been wonderful. But anyway, Cornette got Michael as soon as we went on the air, caught Michael off guard, and just, you know, I mean, she knows, she works for Jim, but Jim is just, he's ridiculously so quick-witted, and he's just ba-bam, ba-bam, ba-bam on Michael, and Michael is just tongue-tied, dumbfounded, starstruck, and every other cliche you can throw at him, and it's just dead air. And I'm like, Michael, you got a question, ask it. We only got an hour with him. Come on. So, it's pretty spectacular.
Boy,
so
speak.
Cornette got Michael back for me.
Oh, that's great.
So you're on the show to get me back.
Yeah.
It will happen.
Yeah. So
you bet your porterhouse filled sphincter it's gonna happen. Oh, that's an inside joke. Sorry, Joe's trying to leave the carnivore world, and I'm
honestly not.
I think he is. I think he's trying to escape, and I'm not going to let him. So I threatened earlier before the show that I was going to shove a porterhouse up his sphincter. Because he cannot.
Why not a London Broil? Why not a London Broil? Why not go bigger?
Because of the fact the porterhouse has that bone in it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was working for, I was trying to help him out a little bit. But.
Well, he was asking me because I said, bring some meat, I'll grill it up for you, and after the show, and he goes, well, what are you gonna have? And my wife's a vegetarian, so we've been eating, veggie burgers. And I said, I got some veggie burgers left in the freezer. I'm just going to throw those on for us. And he's like, you can't have a veggie steak, dude. A steak is a steak.
Yes.
I'm going to ram a porterhouse up your sphincter.
Yes, that was the exact words.
Which I told him that I'm sure there are some folks downtown today that would welcome that because the Pride Parade is going on downtown here in Buffalo.
But see, that's...
I hope somebody tuned in within the last 5 minutes just to hear this conversation.
See, this is what happens.
And they never listened before. I hope they take this experience away from BoredWrestling.com. They've never listened to the show before. They tuned in 5 minutes ago, and they're listening right now.
That'll be
BoredWrestlingFanRadio.com.
It'll be the last time they ever listen to, especially if they're vegetarian or vegan. Then we've got a whole list of other problems going on. I mean, this is kind of where my mindset goes. Is like. I love talking wrestling. I love being around people that are knowledgeable in wrestling and such. But my poor twisted brain, I can't keep on topic for very long because I start getting like really random. So all of a sudden I'll start mentioning other things and topics will get run off of, and this is when people get threatened with stakes shoved up their anal cavities. So
that's why I do my show the way I do my show. I think it has to be random. There is no order. There is only chaos.
There is only chaos.
And this is the truth. With Jim Cornette's show, and I guess a lot of people don't know this. There is no format. That show just sort of happens. We do literally like 3-4 minutes of pre-production, and then it just happens, and it's really really fun, and it's more fun that way. It just is. It's more exciting. It makes for a better show.
I have a legitimate question about the experience. How often do you guys have to ignore the star maker, Kenny Bolin?
How often do we have to what him?
Actually ignore him. Like, how often are you on the air and persistently calling?
Well...
Can you reveal the magic?
Should I break kayfabe?
It's totally up to you, but I do listen every week.
The ringing phone really is totally random. He just always says it's Kenny. Kenny's really a sweet, sweet guy, and it's really funny how people take him seriously. That they don't realize it's a total work. Who believes that? He's not really that guy. That's a character. But the amount of people who have...
I enjoy him. You've got to take him with a grain of salt, like you say.
Exactly. He's brilliant at what he does, and he's such a sweetheart and such a nice guy outside of that. Who, when I was in the hospital, who was like, "Are you okay? Do you need anything? How can I help? Are you all right?" He's that. That's who Kenny is. The character on the show is the character on the show, and it's it's wild and crazy, but he's a really nice dude. Really, really nice dude.
We asked Cornette about one of the questions that Michael McCurdy, the host of IHWExperience, asked. Jim was about, hey, with the technology the way it is, any Yahoo, and he was like, which is funny because that's what we're doing. Can you invent a podcast and come on here and act like they know everything about wrestling? And then he asked Jim, he said, what do you think about that? And Jim kind of said, we don't. He said, well, the Jim Cornette experience, take this. It's a conversation. It's not. It's just a conversation between me and somebody else. And we don't report news because half the people reporting news don't know anything to begin with. So I haven't listened to any of the experiences yet, but I'm going to because, like I said, I've got an announcement next Sunday at the IHWE show about Jim Cornette. He's going to be working with us in the future, doing some stuff. So I'm really looking forward to catching up on the experience. But he kind of went out of his way to say, these days anybody can upload anything, YouTube, podcast, and he said there's so many out there, and there are. And like a year ago, it didn't seem like. Austin, I think, kind of started it. And I'm so glad people like Jim Cornette. Because I could listen to him for hours. I could listen to Cornette. I'm really glad he has one. I'm really glad Austin has one. I'm really glad Jim Ross has one. I'm really glad you guys have one because I like listening to you guys. Because you come on here and you shoot the shiz. You don't disrespect the business, and you're not reporting. Well, Meltzer just said this. You're not doing that. So, like I said, people like Jim Cornette and Jim Ross, I could listen to them for hours. So, hopefully their podcasts continue forever and ever because they actually know what they're talking about, and I love listening to them. So, for what you do for the Jim Cornette experience, thank you. I'm going to say man, don't take it personally, just but because I love listening to people like Jim Cornette, and I think it's awesome for the wrestling fans.
I will accept that and say thank you. We try to have fun on the show, and it's a hell of a good time. And for what it's worth, I'm throwing in a plug here, folks. We're going to be doing the show live in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, the Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Legends Fan Fest, the 10th annual and last Fan Fest. There's going to be a ton of people there, but we are going to be doing a late night, we're working blue, folks, episode of the Jim Cornette Experience with a bunch of friends. Lots and lots of people are going to be stepping up to the microphone and throwing down. It should be great fun. There's just tons of folks that are going to be there. If you enjoy your Nigel McGuinnesses, your Shane Helmses, your Chris Sabins, your Amazing Kongs, your Luke Hawkses, your Lance Storms, Ox Baker, who else is going to be there? Bobby Heenan's going to be there, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Sabu, holy shit.
Oh, Sabu!
Jimmy Valiant, Larry Zabisco. Hey, Tugboat's going to be there. That's why you're coming, right?
Damn.
Stacey Carter, which I think is hilarious. Good for her, though. Honestly, good for her. Harley Race. Harley Race is going to be there. Always good. It's just going to be a great 4.5 days of wrestling, good times and fun. Dr. Tom Pritchard's going to be running a wrestling clinic. They're going to be giving away a $2,500 Reed Flair Memorial Scholarship. And just good times had by all, and I will be there. People have actually asked for my fucking autograph. I don't know what to make of that. Is that a thing? I can't believe that's a thing yet.
Well, I have it, so I consider myself lucky.
That's true. I signed your sheep mask. That's true.
You're damn right, and I still have that displayed proudly. You've definitely made my life by making me the winner of your little contest a way back. So.
Well, the deal is that I just decided you would win. It wasn't really a contest as such. I just wanted to send you a sheep mask.
The fix was in,
and lo, I did, and I completed you.
You did. You seriously did. I'm a happy fat guy now. So, but you mentioned Sabu, and the man is like my favorite wrestler, my favorite performer, like almost ever. If I could meet him, I'd kiss him. Not on the lips because, I do not want to get killed by that man. But
where? Like on his hand or foot or just hem of garment?
I would kiss his hand or his foot. It wouldn't matter to me.
I guess it depends on what hits you first, yes?
Yeah, pretty much. And I think it's probably going to be his hand because he doesn't give a shit. He's a badass dude. And and honestly, I really wouldn't care if he kicked my ass. I'd let him.
Is your ringtone still the Sabu thing?
Yeah. I'm such a fan. I'm such a mark. I can't help it.
George bought the ECW Extreme Music CD on Amazon.
Yes.
And it got here, and he says, "Dude, can you get the Sabu theme on my phone as my ringtone?" Yeah, I think I could do that. Sure enough.
I like that he said it so aggressively. Can you do this?
Do it.
Yeah, I can. Do it.
It was
now.
Hey, Joe, check your messenger when you can.
Okay.
We're professionals, folks.
Oh yeah. I'm honestly though, like the list that you just read off of incredible legends of wrestling and such. Whoever can't make it down there for whatever reason, other than maybe their legs are shorn off, or they've.
And I'm going to allow that as a valid excuse.
I would say
if you
so.
have, although I do know a legless guy that is going.
Well, he won't let anything stop him, and I'm glad.
Exactly.
That's
he basically he gets in his chair and he's got Shelton Benjamin's theme playing, and off he goes.
The gold standard.
It's true. It occurs to me I did not say what date this was happening. Just sort of generally, Charlotte, North Carolina. You'll figure it out.
I'm just going to go there now.
It is July 31st through August 3rd, folks. And you can find out all the information that one might need at nwalegends.com.
Fantastic.
George, I know you're looking at the screen, but do not spoil this for David, because
I'm not saying a damn thing.
We've got his big announcement. We know what his big announcement is, but we're not going to spoil it.
Nope, not at all. I don't say it. I don't care if you beat me half to death.
It's my job. It's my job to accidentally spoil his announcements, like I did with the Johnny Gargano one a couple of weeks ago.
I was going to say.
No, that's all right. No, I wanted you to know what I was talking about, and you're the webmaster, so you should know. But I'm announcing that live next Sunday during our live event in Fort Worth, Texas. So that's going to be awesome. But Greg Price is, if I'm wrong, please correct me. Greg Price is actually the one behind the NWA, or the Mid-Atlantic Legends reunion. I know he was involved with the Mid-South reunion back in April. Matt Riviera, traditional championship wrestling. Matt Riviera is our heavyweight champion, and I know Jim was down there. I just got my DVD in the mail, and if you haven't ordered that yet, please do, MidSouthLegends.com, because Jim hosts a breakfast Q&A with the Rock and Roll Express and Midnight Express, and I've only watched a few minutes of it, but it's awesome. It's really cool. So,
I can confirm that it is Greg Price. I was actually chatting with him on the phone yesterday because we were sort of organizing my travels down there. My ticket is purchased, but he's setting everything else up for me, which is super duper nice. This is like the most amazing thing about this is how much that they're giving to me and offering up for me, which is so sweet. They actually really want me to be there. Ain't that a hoot?
Hey, while you're at it, see if you can make a stop around Buffalo, and
But that's like not even close.
It's like way out of the way. It's like 300 miles out of the way.
It's like I would love to. So, okay, here's the deal. If you can organize my plane ticket and my hotel stay, I will happily do a live RWR in your living room, George.
Oh, so help me, that would be awesome. You know what, matter of fact...
That doesn't mean do any kind of terrorist threat, Joe. Don't do that.
No, I know Joe well enough. He'll be in awe as well, and he would take off of work, and we'd all do an RWR in his living room because he's got more.
George doesn't have internet.
Yes, and I think we would have a great old time over here, and I'd bring over Cards Against Humanity, and we'd go completely wild. Oh no, we go completely mild. Because
that's how I roll.
I don't party.
I am mild.
I don't party like that. So, let me see how my finances go, and I'll keep up with you on that. I know you are on the Book of Face, so I will keep.
I am on the Book of Face.
Yes, I will keep in contact with you on that.
What Joe means is he's going to up his website rate that he charges me every month. He's just going to up that so he can afford to bring you in. That's what that means. That's code.
David,
let me see what my finances are, and he's typing a message right now. David, remember the original deal? That's out. Here's what I need every month to upkeep your website.
He's going to
charge McCurdy more. That's all.
He's going to hold the website hostage.
McCurdy's getting far less done than you had done, and I'm going to be like, yeah, you know how I told you this price?
We got to change this because of inflation, of course.
Yeah. So last week, you and Michael McCurdy set up, and y'all make me sound like Vince McMahon. You make me sound like Vince McMahon because apparently, like, Michael comes to me and he says, "I learned you don't sleep." That is not true. I have a 5-month-old baby. We I have a 5-month-old that dictates when I do and don't sleep, and when I'm up, I'm constantly promoting, or I'm trying to do something to get my brand out there, because this is what I do for a living. But Joe, sadly, to clue in the fans at home, because we've got better things to talk about, Michael's the host of IHWE Radio, and he's Pacific time zone, and then Joe's Eastern. I'm in Tejas. I'm Central. So if I get an idea at 11 p.m., I will shoot Joe a message, but it's already midnight, and I don't have a filter. I know he has a family, and so when I email him stuff, it doesn't necessarily mean right that second, but I'll get an idea, and I don't write anything down. I'll forget about it. Like this week, I have a live event on Sunday. I'm doing your podcast today. I've got we're doing double night at the CAC, Cauliflower Alley Club. We're doing a 2-night simulcast from there. Got a meet and greet Wednesday. Live event on Sunday. I'm going to be building for 10 or 12 hours. So any idea that comes into my head, I'm just going to email.
It's worth noting that we do have on the show right now 2 members of the Cauliflower Alley Club.
Wow.
We do.
That's true.
Holy cow!
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know I'm one of them. I don't know who the other one is.
The other one's David is the other one.
I'm the other one. I'm a lifetime member, and I'm assuming you are as well.
Awesome.
Yes.
That is so cool. This is one of those things that we don't really get. We can't really say we have often. This is a first for us, I believe.
And honestly, it wasn't even planned.
All you have to do is send them money. It's
not
as
are we getting
selective as you
paid for
think.
this? That's what I'm getting. I mean, is that where you're going with this? This is awesome. This never happened. So yeah, I think you need to, at least waive your money.
He's trying to get a discount now.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm a I'm not a starving artist, but I am a broke musician.
Hey, here's the thing. I did IHWEnow.com for David for IHWE Wrestling, and it would be like 3 o'clock. It would be like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would be like, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And 5 seconds later, I've got a message back like, "Yeah, but how about we do this instead?" It's like, dude, do you ever sleep? But no, I understand having a 5 month.
The problem with me, the baby will usually wake up. We feed him around midnight Central, 11 to 12. We'll feed him, and then he'll go to sleep. And then the baby will either wake up, usually from anywhere from 4 to 6 in the morning for his next bottle. And sometimes we get lucky, and he'll wake up around 7 or 8. But most times he wakes up between 4 and 6. So he'll wake up, we'll get his bottle ready, and I don't pawn everything off on my wife. We teamwork. But she'll either feed him, and I'll jump on my phone and check everything, or vice versa. I'll check on my phone after I feed him, and I'll check my messages. And like I said, maybe I don't realize what time it is. You just send me a message and say, "Hey," of course it's probably 1 o'clock in the morning when Joe has sent me a message, and I'm up at 4, and he'll say, "Well, tell me what you think about this." I look at it, I'm like, "Oh, I got an idea. How about this?" I'm not a webmaster, so I don't know what can and can't be done. And I told Joe after when we did this, I said, "Joe, if I come to you with something and that it can't be done, you need to just say so." But Joe, he's a perfectionist, and he's like, "Well, sure, I don't see why we can't put a catalog of 100 live events on the website. Let's try it."
Yeah, I gotta get that Lost event still back up there that you just posted the other day. I gotta get those up there.
I don't see why we can't do a live stream of the event live on the website. I don't see why we can't do that.
Well,
sure.
That's Joe's. That's Joe's mentality.
That's coming up next, by the way. I'm going to hit you up Sunday for that.
IHWE TV is going to be live from every IHWE event.
I actually asked my director. I said, "Can we stream live on YouTube?" And he was like, "Yes, but it would cost about $400 to do it." I'm like, "I'm not making any money for this. And ain't nobody going to pay to watch it live on YouTube, so we'll just tape it."
There you go.
Yeah, that's probably your best bet, because that would be a difficult thing, and we'd all have to coordinate schedules.
There are these old veteran promoters down here who are the same veteran promoters that were promoting during the territory days that only want to work certain days a week and only want to post flyers on social media, and they hate it when I get on there and I say we're going global, just because we're putting a show up on YouTube, and I can actually say that. So I get crap as it is, but I don't care.
That's awesome.
All of you guys seem to work a hell of a lot harder than I do. I do.
You work with Jim, so it's cool. It evens out.
I just sort of show up and open my face and say things.
We're getting
and
static.
walk away. It's so much easier.
We're getting a lot of staticies going on here. It's coming from the Alice side.
Seems like it.
Oh, no.
Stephanie McMahon's on my TV right now. Does that have anything to do with it?
I think so.
It might. Well, you see, I work hard for David for his site because he pays me.
I don't.
Not very much, by the way. Not very much. Anybody who wants a website,
we're not revealing. We're not revealing figures. Yeah, that's.
I don't work at all. Oh my God, most of my day involves a series of unsuccessful naps and then band practices.
Let's put it this way: McCurdy's getting a similar price for a lot less work.
And then you got Michael McCurdy. I'm going to get his in. He's about to get on a flight to go to the Cauliflower Alley Club and apparently tell everybody how much hell it is working for this little Texas guy. So Michael McCurdy, he's the one who accepted it, and if you accept it, you can't complain about anything. You're the one who accepted it. If you go to donate blood and the needle hurts, you went to donate blood. If you go get a tattoo and it hurts, you went to go get the tattoo.
I should know. I don't mean to cut you off, David. There's a little addendum I want to add to if you want to give blood and the needle hurt. There's an exception in my case. I've donated blood once, and the experience was so unpleasant that I have never done it again. The spear mistress, as I like to call her, because I don't call her anything but because she was evil. She took a running start with that needle, and she,
oh Lord,
yeah, and. It really, now I get it because I've got a lot of tattoos and I've done blood work before. I get that it's going to hurt, but this was a pain from a needle that I have not yet experienced since. This woman, I think she was training to be in the javelin event at the Olympics.
Are you sure it wasn't Sid and it was really scissors?
I could have been hallucinating at the time. It might have been. It might have been.
I'm hoping that my mic is better now. Is it better now?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, much better.
Fantastic.
Much better.
I was in the hospital for 4 days recently, and when I got out, my right arm was purple.
Oh.
Just the inner arm was purple and bruised and nasty because they were taking blood twice a day, sort of alternating between two different veins, and I looked like a fucking junkie. It was awful. It was really, really nasty, but I'm all better now. So that's the positive part. Gee, I didn't die.
Yes.
I know you asked me not to die. I did not die.
You fulfilled the promise, and I appreciate Alice. You know that.
This is not Memorex. It's live.
People are Googling that
I'm looking
right
at the
now
clock upon the wall, and it seems like things are narrowing down, so I do want to quickly plug a couple things, because it's worth it. For those people who listen to the Jim Cornette Experience, for the next 2 weeks, we are having Kevin Sullivan on the show, and then after that, Alex Greenfield. So it should be a very interesting contrast of Booker and writer. On my show coming up in the next month or so, we've got Alex Greenfield, actually. How did that happen? I don't know. And Lance Storm. So many fun things.
Damn. Well, who
is a big fucking smartass, and you can tell him I told you that, because everybody thinks he's Mr. Serious and Mr. Boring. He's actually hilarious, and he is such a smart apple, and I love that about him. He's really, really funny.
Now, Alice, I know you lead the life of a very busy person in terms of who you interview, and you have tons of guests and stuff like that. Could I maybe jockey for position to get a guest spot on one of your shows again?
Yep, sure. August 18th, is that good? I know that seems like way far in advance. It's just I'm booked out like crazy right now.
That's fine.
So.
That's fine. Oh, no. Absolutely. I will make time for you. All right.
Yay, it's because I'm special.
You are. There aren't many people. The folks on this phone call right now, everybody involved, I would make time for. Especially you, Alice, because you are just such a wonderful person to me. So.
Oh my God!
Yes.
You're going to ask me to marry you, aren't you?
Oh.
You'll have to drop the title there.
You want to go where everybody knows you. Okay. All right.
George! No. I look, see, out of the whole panel, I look the closest to Norm. So I'm going to run with that one. But anyways.
Awesome.
George does love Alice.
I do.
He certainly does.
She's just an awesome person, and I every time I speak to her, it's a lot of fun. So
we all love Alice on this program, and anytime she wants to drop in, she can drop in, even if we have a guest who's trying to promote a show.
I never know how to handle all the love.
Oh well, just accept it. It'll work out in the end. You know.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Alice.
She took Ralph Cramden's crap for years, so I'm sure she can handle this. This is awesome.
This is nothing. To the moon, Alice. To the moon.
These are the best episodes of Bored Wrestling Fan when we can just throw away the whole planned script. We only set it up when we don't have anything else to talk about. So I want to thank both of you for hopping on today.
I kind of feel bad for David because not once have we mentioned the IHWExperience next Sunday, June 8th.
Hey, we got a few minutes. We'll do it. It's all good. I'm a master at this. I can get a plug in less than 1 minute. We're good.
All right. Do it up. Plug away.
See, I'm trying to plug his show. He's like, nah, I got this.
That's right. He's a professional. I trust him.
I've been in this for 17 years. I can do
that. That he knows how to work quick. He's got a baby. He knows, babies work on baby time. All right. So
that's it. That's it. And he's taken over the territory in 16 years anyway, so he's learning.
There you go. See, you've already got it planned out.
That's right.
Nice. So, yeah, plug away, sir. Please give us all your love.
All right, real quick. It was nice speaking to Alice. I didn't know who she was. I'm glad you brought her on. Now I'm a little educated. She sounds like a wonderful lady. Really smart too. I really admire that. IHWExperience this Sunday live from the Sendera Center in Fort Worth, Texas. IHWEnow.com. If you're anywhere in Texas, we have people coming in from Oklahoma. We have people coming in from South Texas. Johnny Gargano is going to make a Texas wrestling debut. The Dragon Gate superstar. He's in Singapore right now. He's about to fly back. He's going to be at Dreamwave Wrestling this coming weekend. And I want to thank Jay Restful for working with us on getting Johnny here. Jay's been awesome. And they've got a triple header this coming weekend in Chicago, Illinois. So Johnny's going to be down here on Sunday Wrestling. Former Bored Wrestling Fan guest, Thomas Shire. And I know Johnny was a guest too. So you've got a battle between two BWF alumni.
But I have Johnny's autograph on the wall.
Okay, well, there you go. So that's going to be Sunday. We're going to crown the first ever Terry Gordy Memorial Battle Royal winner. They're going to walk away with the Terry Gordy Memorial Cup, one of the greatest big men in the history of professional wrestling. His legacy in this territory is second to none. His family's going to be there to present the cup to the winner. A lot of prospects in that match, including international high-flying superstar Americos, who is wrestling as a part of the Cauliflower Alley Club this coming weekend. He's teaming up with Matt Hardy to take on Greg Anthony and the IHWE's heavyweight champion, Matt Riviera. That's going to happen in Las Vegas this weekend as a part of Vendetta Pro Wrestling. But then Americos is going to fly down here and make a stop here in Fort Worth to be part of that Battle Royal. Matt Riviera, the IHWE heavyweight champion, will be there at the taping for IHWE TV, 6 p.m. bell time. All the information is at IHWEnow.com, which is mastered by the wonderful Think So Joe Kent. And I want to thank you for doing all that you do. And I'm just going to say this. It's only going to get worse, buddy.
I'm sure now that the events are starting up, it's going to be tough to keep up on.
David, give him hell, please. You got to get him back.
You will be doing podcasts like Alex Greenfield by the time this relationship is over, and you will probably start a cranky Dave Twitter by the time this is over with. But I'm also, hey, you're going to have Charlie Haas on the show. Charlie Haas is going to be on the September show, Old School Hustle. Charlie Haas is going to come on BWF. I'm going to make sure of it. And, Joe, you asked me about something last week, and as part of my announcement on Sunday, I am going to lock away a guest spot for you-know-who to come on IHWE Radio or excuse me, to come on BWF Radio before September 28th. The flyer that I sent you, that gentleman, I will get him on your show before September 28th. You have
I
my word.
really appreciate that.
Thank
I've
you.
been wanting him on the show for a long, long time.
Dave, thank you so much, man. That's awesome. That's really awesome.
No problem. It's about helping each other out, and I want to do it. Michael going to Las Vegas. I said it right, Michael. He was like, well, why don't we just get him back on IHWE Radio? I said, we're going to send him to BWF Radio. Oh, just remember that.
That's
just remember
awesome.
that.
Oh.
And then Michael was like, LOL, and he tried to cover it up. But we all know what he's thinking.
He's cursing us right now.
Yeah.
That's okay. I can handle that.
Yeah. So, but I want to thank you guys. I know you guys got to wrap up. I want to thank you guys for having me on next week. Go to IHWEnow.com for all the information about our two-night simulcast from the CAC. Who knows who's going to be on the show? We have a major announcement tomorrow at the Cauliflower Alley Club. IHWE's got a major announcement, and it should hopefully be posted. Joe, I'm going to be hitting you up with a lot of stuff this week, so just be prepared. Big week for IHWE. We're going to be out in Las Vegas. We're going to be here in Fort Worth. Historic week. I'm so excited, but thank you guys so much for having me on. I enjoyed throwing the format out and chatting, and y'all have a good rest of the weekend.
Thanks a lot, David. Thanks for coming on. I'll be in touch with you soon.
All right, bye.
Normally, every week, we have a little plug for RWR.
We
read
do?
by Joe and George, but
Yes.
wouldn't it be a treat if we actually get it read by the hostess herself?
Please.
Well, I don't know what you guys write, but when I do this badly, so
we just wing it.
I was going to say it can't be any worse.
Folks, listen to RWR every week because it's nice. I don't get anything out of it, but I like that you listen. It's really sweet of you. RWRpodcast.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Alice Radley. There is an at RWR Podcast Twitter account, but so few people follow it, and I never tweet from there because I tend to forget. Because as I said earlier, I don't really do stuff. What else? It's on iTunes. It's on Stitcher. I have noticed that very few people seem to use Stitcher for that particular purpose. So iTunes and stuff. It's really cool. And what else? I'm on there, and people are on there. There's this thing I can announce. There's a guy who I have on relatively regularly, a guy named Lamar, at MarsMediaUS.com. Not .com? What the fuck? No, let's start again. At MarsMediaUS. That's on Twitter. There is no .com there. He's going to be my sort of semi-regular co-host from going forward. He's going to do 3 weeks on, 1 week off. So those little off weeks are going to be slightly prized. They're going to be like the best bit in a Whitman sampler or something like that. The largest strawberry in the box. Because people actually want to be on my show, go figure. So those weeks are going to be harder and harder to get. And as you heard on this show today, this morning, whenever you're listening to this, George got one of them.
Yes, I did.
He did.
Yes. Oh, trust me, Alice. This is definitely prized, and
I was going through my phone. I was trying to clear out like a lot of because my phone was full. So I'm trying to clear it out, and I'm like in this temporary folder, and I'm looking, and I saw the picture that George texted me of the sheep mask.
Yes.
Oh,
That's right. That I tell you, when I had to get ready to move a couple weeks ago, that was the sheep masks were two of the things that I made sure were like on top of everything else in the box and didn't get crushed down by anything else, because it's like I gotta present these two sheep masks, the one that I paid a lot of money for, and the one that Alice signed that is a Wyatt family sheep mask. And matter of fact, I am wearing my Wyatt family shirt.
You bought that first one before WWE Shop was even selling them, right?
Yep. I got it for $28.
I think I spent $5 on mine. They were super cheap.
See?
I know I gave away 2, and I have no idea who I gave the other one to. Somebody else won one. That was the person that was a legitimate winner. You were the one that was sort of the ringer winner.
Yes, I was. I was totally okay with that. And, so, August 18th, I am looking forward to a wonderful, wonderful evening of conversation with Alice at RWR. And I will go and mark that on my calendar in my phone immediately.
It will be fun.
It will. It's been a very long time, so I think we'll have a lot to talk.
It has been. I can't remember when you were on last.
Yeah, it was
because I just did my of this particular incarnation of the show, my 46th show.
Wow!
So it's been a while.
It has been. And, but if anything, I might not be able to remember the date, but I remember the show was a lot of fun. So so I look forward to it again. And Alice, thank you so much for being on today. It's a pleasure when we can have you on.
Oh, it was an accident. It was one of those deals where I was like looking at Skype and I'm like, oh, geez, on Hi G. Oh, wait a minute, he's doing a show right now. Maybe I could be on the show. I'm going to be on the show.
You are always welcome on our show.
Yes.
Anytime you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not usually up this early, but okay.
Well,
at least not on a Sunday. On Tuesdays always, because that's when I record with Jim. He's like, can you be up at 9? I'm like, oh, fuck, yeah, okay. I can be up at 9. But actually last week it was worth it for those who did tune in. It'll also be on the drive-through this Tuesday, a little extra nugget. We had Paul Orndorff on, who was possibly one of the nicest people I have ever had the privilege of speaking to. Wow. He was incredibly sweet and incredibly interesting. Told a hell of a lot of great stories. Those will be continuing on Corny's drive-through. He'll be telling the story of Vader and the flip-flops, and much fun to be heard.
That's great. Mr. Wonderful himself.
and he was wonderful. He really was wonderful.
He fills out the name.
That was a great episode. I did listen to it on, I think it was Friday night. Very, very... very cool to listen back, because I grew up watching that period of time that he's talking about, especially with the run with Hogan. I would highly recommend. Alice is obviously going to put over a show, and we love her for it. But I don't work for MLW, and I'll put it over. It's fucking great. Go check it out.
I don't work for MLW either. I work for Jim. So that's how I like to couch it.
It works. That's great. That's great.
He's the guy that pays me. So,
hey.
And he is super cool. He's been so nice. Are we still on the air?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's how
I was going to say more things.
That's how cool the show is.
The clock doesn't tell us when to end. We tell the clock when it's over.
Damn straight. That's right. I kick the clock in its nuts. I break its back and make it humble. That's right.
The other thing I was thinking about is this is like the only other show I've been on in ages, because people keep asking me to do their shows. I'm just like,
People ask you to do their shows.
That is my general reaction. Just like, no.
People ask you to do their shows. You're like, but we're
I just put
sitting
my
here doing
sunglasses on, climb under the bed.
but we're doing a show, and you're just like, hey, can I come on? Yeah, okay, sure.
Well, we've got the secret Canadian weapon. That's why.
You do. You have the G.
We do, and the holder of the now most prestigious streak, and not the Undertaker, but G.
128 episodes this man's been on.
Yes,
that's a lot of episodes of things.
Yeah,
wow.
he's a fucking machine. I got to say that much.
Yeah,
well, I'd always questioned his humanity. So
G's been on 128 episodes of this show. I run the show, and I've been on 126.
Wait a minute, haven't you guys had 200 episodes though, or am I thinking of another show?
No, we just recently did our 100th 28 weeks ago.
Yeah, we're gonna get to two. Well, when we get to 200, holy cow! There will be dancing in the streets, and mostly me. I'm going to be dancing like a complete idiot, as usual.
In a cock sock or fully dressed?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a cock baby sock.
Oh.
I'm just going to keep the major part warm. The two little stepchildren underneath don't need any help. Screw them.
So that just conjures up such an image.
I know. I have traumatized this panel for life. Oh, I love it. And now I'm going to be billed for everybody's therapy. Oh, I am in such trouble now.
It's the thing. I don't have your address anymore, so when they send the bills to me, I can't forward them to you.
Yeah, you could send it to my old address, and I'll have to do it anyways, regardless.
It's true.
So oh boy,
it wasn't me. It was George.
I better start working.
I like the idea that George knows where Joe lives, but Joe does not know where George lives. So that's kind of
well,
cool.
George just well, I do know where George lives because we drove by the other day, and He's like, "Oh, this is where I live over here." So I do know where George lives, but I don't know his. I don't know his address.
He could have been fabbing you. You don't know.
Even I don't know where I live half the time.
You know, quite honestly, I never was actually in your old house either. I picked you up there a few times, so I assume you lived there.
Yeah, you were never in the part where the magic happened. Or I mean,
would Joe have wanted to be?
No.
Where the magic
well,
happened?
this is the.
I'm talking to a guy that threatened to shove a porterhouse steak up my ass earlier.
Yeah,
I don't think I wanted to be.
That's
with
the magic.
Yeah.
That's the magic.
Well, no. My magic trick is I make girls' sexual appetites disappear.
By fulfilling them?
Yeah, it's quite David Copperfield-esque. There's lots of mirrors and lots of misdirection, and in the end, they're gone out the door, and I've still got the cape on.
Wait a minute, the cape on as in the chicken, or the cape on?
I knew you were going to say that. Shit. I will be wearing a cape. I'm not going to be handling a desexified chicken.
You're not going to be wearing a chicken.
No,
okay.
No chickens will be worn. They will be consumed, but not worn.
I like chicken.
I do too. It's I just made chicken last night, so today I'm going to make a steak at Joe's house because I want to make him jealous.
It's marinating right now.
I'm having steak tonight myself. I'm having New York strip.
See, I'm actually having the porterhouse that I'm going to shove up Joe's sphincter.
Usually we have ribeyes, but I've been switching.
Wait a minute. Wait. You're going to shove a porterhouse up my ass, and then you're going to eat it?
Well, when you cook it, it cooks off all the germs and shit. I'm sorry, Alice. You mentioned ribeye, and my mouth started watering again because I love ribeye.
Well, it's funny. I was really enjoying the ribeyes for a while, but I decided they were a little too fatty. And now that I've made the switch to New York strips, I'm actually preferring those. I find that they have a slightly beefier flavor without some of the fat, and they're delicious.
Steak is just good all over the place. I don't even think. I think any steak you give me, any beef steak you give me, is going to be awesome. I am a total carnivore. And,
I don't know. Sirloins are a struggle for me, as are filet mignons, and you wouldn't think so, but it's because they're too lean.
Yeah, and
you do need to have some fat, otherwise you've got no flavor and no lubrication.
Yes, exactly. Without fat or with the absence of a bone, there is no flavor for a steak unless you really season it up. So
yeah, I mean that's why with a filet mignon, so often people will wrap it in bacon because it requires fat and flavor. That's correct. And bacon. And dealing with a steak that thick. It's a pain because you end up with something that's like blue in the middle, and I mean it's happy on the outside, but the inside is just tragic.
Oh, trust me, there's a guy I used to know. He was sacrilegious in the way he ate beef. He liked to have his over well done. He liked his meat to be gray in the middle.
Oh.
And, yeah, exactly. And I would respond normally with that, the ew, and I also vowed that I would never eat a steak or eat steak with him ever because
the middle should be slightly bloody, but actually it's mycoprotein. That's not blood. It's actually protein what you see inside a steak.
Oh, yeah.
They've been well drained of their blood.
Oh yeah.
But nice and pink, but warm.
Oh, I'm telling everybody loves a warm pink center.
And some of us have.
I know. It's so wonderful. That's oh man. I this has been an incredible show.
You missed me, didn't you?
I did. The wonderful banter. It gets I miss it because I talk to Joe, I talk to G, to Mark, to JT every week, and sometimes I'll say this much. These guys, they definitely have quick wit and keep me on my toes. But it needs a woman's touch every so often. And I'm glad.
And when I'm here, they just fall away. And it's just you and me.
It does seem to be, we are in our own little Alice and Jorge world. But this has been an awesome show. I haven't had this much fun on a BWF podcast in a long time, so...
well, I'm so glad that I could have been a part of that. Thank you.
Yes, you definitely were, and G and Mark, who are still here, you guys are excellent. You are wonderful, wonderful human beings. And
wait a minute, there's a fourth or fifth dude here?
Yeah, Mark.
Mark hasn't said a word since you got on.
He's been a very quiet man. he is Mark to me is like, he's kind of like he's kind of like the yin to my yang, because of the fact that he seems to think like I do most of the time, and so he gets a lot of the things that I'm saying like really quickly.
Wouldn't that make him the yang to your yang?
That's true, or the yang to my, or the Jimmy to my Wang Yang. Who knows?
That's a thing.
It could be. It could be. But yeah. So everybody on this panel, I would take a bullet for, but not in the face of the crotch. You don't want to hurt the moneymakers. I'm just saying. But
so that's how you play your bass.
Oh yes, I play it William Murderface style. Oh yes, and I had the honor this past week of opening for the Italian metal band Lacuna Coil.
I saw that on the old Facebook there.
Yes, it was amazing.
You always put up photos, but you never put up any audio clips.
Because I don't get them. Like I don't record it. I basically take what's given to me and I share it, or I'll take what's already posted on the band's link or whatever, and I'll bring them over to my profile and stuff. We haven't been able to get too many good audio clips lately. But we have a CD, like a 4-song CD sampler that we're going to be releasing very soon. So what I could do...
Call it a 4-song CD buffet. People will like that more.
Ooh, a smorgasbord.
Mm-hmm.
I will, if possible...
Mitschlag and all. Yum, yum, yum.
I will send you a copy of it signed by my band if you'd like. And,
I would love that. Thank you.
Yes, you and I shall talk on the Book of Face later, and we will arrange it, because as soon as I get the first copy I get of this smorgasbord, I'm going to send to you. So
kick ass, because honestly, I always see these pictures of you totally wailing, and I'm like, but I can't hear it. It's like being deaf. No.
Nobody wants that.
We're surrounded by George's basses right now.
Oh yeah, I've moved a few of them into Joe's studio.
We can plug them in.
Yes,
Did you solve your pedal problem? I know you were having some pedal problems.
No, I haven't yet, but I'm going to take care of it during the week. It's right now, the consensus is it's a bad ground. So I'm going to look for a new power cord for my amp and for my pedal board. And I think that should hopefully solve the problem.
Because you got to have those.
Oh yeah, that was the thing. The sound guys were kind of lamenting the fact that I have 12 pedals on my board, and that bassist.
Have they seen what Geddy Lee goes out with? Seriously.
No, they're not used to it. That's the problem. So when they see something like what I've got, they're like, "Oh, this is unnecessary." I'm like, "Oh, wait till you hear it happen on stage, then it's necessary." Because those pedals get used a lot. But it's...
Well, don't let anybody tell you have a problem, man. You'll know when to stop.
That's right. I know when I can cut myself off. I did mention...
We were in a band together. George comes out with this big pedal board, 12, 15 pedals on it. I've got a tuner and a distortion pedal, and I'm like, I'm good.
Yep. I would usually have more pedals than anybody else in my bands. Except for the band that you've seen the pictures from, Lost Elysium, my guitar player has 14 pedals, and
nice.
Yeah, he uses them all, and he uses them all very well. But me, I can't help it. I gotta get more and more and more. And,
well, it's like the word I said earlier, buffet. You need a buffet of sounds.
Yes, and believe me, in the most cases, I'm like, And this is even during live performances. I'm like, let me see how this will sound in this part of the song. And it usually works. So, yeah, it's working out pretty nice. And there's a lot of big things on the way soon in terms of Lost Elysium news. So I will keep everybody updated and let you know what's going on. And
well, it seems like the more I see, the more you guys are opening for some pretty big name acts, and that's definitely, obviously, a million steps in the right direction.
It is, and honestly, awesome. Honestly speaking, we are working our way out towards where you are, Alice. We want to go out that way soon and play. So
it's pretty cool out here, and we have some pretty hip clubs, as you might have heard. Los Angeles is kind of a music town.
Oh yeah, and we are. Matter of fact,
only kind of,
just a little bit.
Only kind of.
Our singer just came back from LA, and of course, she loves it over there. And like I said, we're going to work in the right direction to get over there and play a couple shows. So hopefully, I'll be able to run into you in your part of town. and should be.
We can consume. I can't say words. Consume food together.
Yes, that would be awesome. Oh.
Five Guys or In and Out maybe. We will consume cow together.
That would be great. I would appreciate
cow and
that
potatoes.
Oh, of course, and in many different forms, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
As long as they're not mooing, I'm good.
No, I don't eat live cows.
Nah, I can't do it. They fight too much.
You know what? They probably really don't. They just stare at you really, really sadly. Just like, why? You know, G is from a cattle town, and I imagine I know that when you walk the streets of Calgary, there are many cows. He knows this. You know the sadness of the eyes of a cow. I mean, it's like the Wild West, right? That's what Calgary's like, right?
Oh, totally.
Have I been misled?
No. It's every morning we go to our local saloon. We hang out with our fellow Caldron, I guess that'd be the word. And
Calgarians?
start our day off right with
how
couple
about
shots of whiskey.
Calgons? You can be Calgons. That's cool.
Calgons. They can take people away.
That's great. The streets are made of patties.
It's you. So it's you, Lance Storm, all the various hearts, and you guys are just hanging out with cows, just chilling.
That's
sometimes we have them wrestle Teddy Hart's cats.
that I'd love to watch that. And gee, if you hung out with all those folks, that I would totally be so jealous of you. Just because.
Well, in all fairness, although I'll never reveal it online, I actually do know where Storm lives. I've been to his house. I delivered a pizza to him.
Nice.
Did you get to meet Maya, his adorable, sweet little meow meow? She's a really cute kitty.
I did not, but I did manage to meet his daughter, who's an author, which that's a pretty smart kid.
Nice.
Writing books. Yeah. I didn't actually meet him in person. It was her and who I believe might have been her grandmother who was at the door, and they were eating healthy, eating the gluten-free. I guess they're following that trend.
Okay.
Whatever. I'm not going to get into the conspiracy on the gluten thing, but
Yeah.
good tippers, quality, class act. I suspected the community they lived in for a while now, and turned out I was right.
I will say that it's so rare that I do this, but I guess this could be construed as a bit of a mark-out moment, was when Lance said that, in Charlotte, he's looking forward to meeting me. And I was just like, not nearly as much as I'm looking forward to meeting you, dude. I didn't say that out loud, because I was like, I gotta be cool, man.
You gotta act like you've been there before. That's great. Oh, wow. Just remember, G, I will fight till the end for my gluten.
There you go.
That's right.
Got to keep things sticking together, right?
That's right.
We've only been eating it for what, 14,000 years?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't understand why.
I understand that there are some people who legitimately have celiac disease.
Yes.
There's a blood test for it. You can test for it. But the people who actually say to me, "Well, you shouldn't eat that stuff. It's crap." Where are you getting that information from? Are you celiac? No, I just know it's crap.
No, they're just a boring ass face, and they screw that.
It's one of those things that makes me upset, because we live, I'm gonna rant. We live in this amazing land of plenty where we actually have the option to choose not to eat food.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that you're going to say that certain food, Chris Rock has done this more beautifully than I ever could. Is like,
Yes.
Don't eat red meat, fuck that. Don't eat green meat. That's what he said. I'm sticking with Chris Rock. If you have the luxury to sit there and say, well, I'm not going to eat that because that's not blah, 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 blah. It's like, just be happy you have food and shut up. Put food in your sound hole and shut up.
Now he says don't eat green meat, but if Kermit the Frog got run the fuck over and he was quality, there was
He's only green on the outside.
Oh, okay. Well, still, I would take. He's still green.
Of course,
somewhere.
there are green eggs and ham.
Yes.
We shouldn't go through this and not discuss green eggs and ham.
Yes.
Sam,
Sam, you is. I would probably eat them in a box. I would
you eat them
likely eat
with
them with a fox.
Yes.
Yeah. I would eat them with Alicia Fox.
I was gonna say, oh my goodness, you got me. I was gonna say that too. Oh, great minds. Yes. I'd eat.
So essentially, Bored Wrestling Fan Universe, don't eat rotten meat.
Yeah, don't eat any meat that's
I'm writing the description of the show as we're still doing the show, which I never do.
Yeah,
and I'm doing this
and then
right now.
Alice said, "Don't eat green meat," and we all were like, "Yeah."
Well, I said the show devolves into a food discussion between George and Alice.
This is the best part about this show is that we, like G mentioned earlier, and David, you throw out every script and you throw out every pre-planned.
That guy was really trying to bring it back onto some kind of a track.
He wanted to because he had plans. He
has a show to promote, and it's like, dude, get your plug in, and get back into the story.
Yeah, because
what we're talking about.
Notice how I managed to do that without any kind of schedule.
Exactly. We love David though. He's a great guy. He's a regular around here.
Well, see, that's the thing. David's not really used to us as much yet. Whereas Alice, you've known us for a while, so you kind of you can adapt faster to the.
I also don't give a shit, so I'll just say this.
I'm all for the episodes that go off the rails. I'm the guy who puts the fucking script together. I'm the first guy to say throw it out.
Yep.
Like fuck it.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's your backup plan, right? You gotta have contingency when you're doing the show.
Oh,
but
of course.
Also, I didn't say this, but I should say this: SmackDown review forever. Raw review.
There you go.
Oh no!
It's getting so hard to watch that show.
Team SmackDown review.
I have that. Well, see, that's the thing. I don't watch SmackDown, so I have to get my information from somewhere, and I'd like to believe that that's how it goes down.
And G's willing to fall on that grenade for us. He makes the ultimate
it's
sacrifice.
It's a terrible program, isn't it? It's really, really pretty bad.
There's the occasional match that's worth watching, but 2 hours of
and it's usually just recycled Raw shit. That's all it is.
NXT rocks a lot, and so does Legends House. God, I love Legends House. Oh, that could be just forever. They could be on every day, and I'd be happy. I really, really would.
Finally, somebody on this show besides me likes Legends House.
I was gonna say G does not like Legends House.
I don't.
Mean Gene Okerlund is a disgusting, funny, weird old perv, and I like it. And he's got lopsided arms, and he looks like, I don't know, a topographical map or something. I don't know what's going on. He spends way too much time in the sun. Do not spend time in the sunblock, kids. Honestly,
he could definitely pose for. He can double as Jimmy Hart's luggage.
And Jimmy Hart obviously has some kind of an eating disorder.
Yeah,
there's just a million fucking things he won't eat. Just like my potato and my beans with no seasoning. They're never like. It's not like a can of like chili beans. It's just plain red bean. It's very shitty.
If you watch the show, you know the response of, "Hey, do you like this food?" No, I don't like it.
He didn't like anything. I mean, it's fine. I get that he doesn't like chitlins. I wouldn't eat chitlins either.
Never.
Jesus, the man won't eat anything. What an unusual individual. Unexpectedly. So, I mean, well, fuck. He reminds me of my mom, except for the hair and the goatee. My mom is really finicky about what she eats. So, she is the kind of person that probably would eat a plain potato and plain beans if the option, was steak and good stuff.
I could never do that. Last night, I was telling the guys I made chicken. I made barbecue chicken legs, and then I made asparagus. And this was the first time I'd ever ventured into making asparagus on my own. So
I like asparagus. It's quality. Did you grill it or did you steam it?
I steamed it. It, and actually, I did it differently. I boiled. I went into straight water and boiled. Now
it's an option, but you really want to do a very, very quick blanch because otherwise you're going to end up with floppy asparagus.
Oh,
women don't like floppy asparagus.
Hell no! I don't even like that. No, this actually maintained a pretty darn good crunch. And what I did was I put salt and pepper in the water before I threw the asparagus in, and then I cooked the asparagus really quickly. Then I threw a little bit more salt and pepper on it after, and it was delicious. Delicious.
I love asparagus, and this is about the time of the season for asparagus.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's just incredible stuff. So I
last night for dinner I had what did I make? I took lavash bread, spread a little bit of jalapeno cheddar cheese on that, topped it with barbecued beef brisket, and made sort of a pinwheel out of that. I sort of just rolled it up, and it wasn't food as such. It was some other kind of substance, and then I drank scotch. And I ate beef brisket and jalapeno cheddar cheese.
Scotch. Yay.
It lives in my tummy. It's a happy place. I'd actually meant to have red wine, but the wine I got last night was disgusting, so I had to pour it out.
Yeah, see, I hate when that happens.
Generally speaking, a Malbec shouldn't taste like really, really bitter lemon rind, I don't think.
No.
Yeah.
No. Ugh. And that's
nasty.
like when I get a taste for wine, that's like
I was so sad. I was like, "Fuck! I have to pour that. What else do I? Oh, I've got scotch. All right, I guess I'm gonna have scotch. I wanted wine. It was like 10 o'clock, so I couldn't really go out and
Oh, that sucks.
It was depressing. So sad. I mean, I got drunk anyway, but it wasn't the same.
It's not the same experience. Getting drunk on wine is nice and gradual and.
It was going to be all mellow. I was watching a program about the history of Rome, and I was going to be all like, Rome wine, but it's like Rome scotch.
You were feeling all regal and like.
Yeah, it just didn't go. I was so imperial, and then I wasn't. It's so sad.
Oh, that's great. Oh gosh, Alice, it has been a pleasure. I have to get going.
Is this your way of telling me I have to leave now?
This is my way of saying I have to leave. So I would never kick you off of anything. So
Alice, it's been great.
Eventually, we need to wrap up the show and get it up online anyway. So.
Alice, we will continue this conversation later via Facebook. I promise. You have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful rest of your weekend.
You too, man.
Alice, thank you very much for just popping in. We really appreciate it. We really love having you on the show. Anytime you'd like, just drop in on us.
Yes.
If I happen to be up on a Sunday, I will.
Yeah,
this has been really, really fun. Yes. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
One of those random things that happens. Well, I'll go now.
If you ever see me on Skype and you just want to do an impromptu show of any kind about anything, hit me up.
I keep trying to track your ass down to do stuff, but you're sort of like you're there and then you're gone.
Yeah, like, my summer
is
coming up. I'm gonna have a lot of free time at the end of June.
Oh right, yeah, because of that thing that
the indoctrination goes on pause.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Right now, I'm just plugging away, grinding it out, making this show every week because I guess it's part of my life now.
He's got to keep the streak alive.
Alice, I put in
You're certainly.
I clicked suggested tags in the post that I'm doing to actually post on the site, and your name actually popped up as one of the suggested tags.
Yes.
Oh, it knows.
It knows.
It knows you so well.
But I'm unknowable.
Well, apparently not. Apparently, you've been found out.
Well, by the way, if you ever want to, come on the old show that I do, that can happen.
That's right.
I can make that happen. I'm in charge. So
yeah, she's got connections.
My Mondays have actually been a little bit freer as of late, so yeah, we should talk about that. Figure something out that works for you, and I'm sure I can make that happen.
If nothing else, I can kick somebody out and then put you in.
What are you doing August 18th?
Oh, shit. Gee, no.
On that note.
All right.
I did that once, though. Not to George, but to somebody else, because somebody better came along.
On that note, I do need to plug, of course, Booker Tees real quick. Booker Tees at Booker TEES on Twitter, BookerTees.com. Get some great T-shirts from them.
Hell yeah.
And, of course, our great sources for wrestling news, which went unused this week, CheapHeat.com and AngryMarks.com. And we have Alice on the show, so Alice at RWR, RWRpodcast.com.
Damn straight.
And at Alice Radley, because that's where people seem to actually want to follow me on the old Twitter.
At Alice Radley on Twitter?
I talk to pretty much everybody because I'm a nice person. I do that.
You are.
Alice, we're glad you're feeling better, and we're glad you came on the show, and we thank you very much. And I'm going to play the outro music now, so at least I can turn off the show. And I'm at Think So Joe. George is at Punish78, at Random Redhead, at Mark_Noise, at G of the Internet, at BoredWrestlingFan to follow the whole show. That's Bored Wrestling Fan without vowels. Facebook.com/BoredWrestlingFan. Listen every week, 2 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. BWFRadio.com. And, of course, get the podcast on BoredWrestlingFan.com. iTunes, Stitcher, CheapHeat.com. We're there. And apparently we're on YouTube now, thanks to Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Yay.
And
yes.
We'll see everybody next week.
Hash browns are really kicking in.
wanna go to the place.
And then watch Payback.
I can hear a slight